And I will tell you this as plainly as possible. I don't want to live around black people. I just don't. It would be irresponsible if I had a wife and kids to live near black people.
If you think you can turn an Indian person into a Japanese person by boiling them, not going to happen, okay? Go down to my basement and talk to the 150 Indians that I already tried that on. Doesn't work.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a wonderful night tonight. Just double checking to make sure that I actually didn't put the voice changer on, so it's at least normal for now until something happens later on in the stream or whatnot. Hope you're all having a great Friday night. We have a few updates from the everybody's favorite military industrial complex. We have some memes to go over and some more fun stuff. But before we do, we have Secondary Dank. We have SS Sydney. And we also have Chest Trigger. How's your day going, guys?
Pretty well.
Good.
Nothing
Looks
to
like
complain about.
Looks like you're in an older version of my room, sir. And it's still just as messy as it is now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys have been following it, but Glock recently, they canceled all their Gen 5s, or at least most of their Gen 5s besides the 1.5 stacks. They did a bunch of really silly, wacky things. They pulled out of California, or California kicked them out, I should say. But today, they unveiled their new California compliant model. Have any of you guys seen this yet?
No, but I'm assuming compliant? It's gay.
Well, I don't know. You tell me whether this is based or cringe or not. So this has been submitted for approval in California. The Glusket model. I'm not sure if this is Gen V or technically Gen 6. We're not entirely sure yet, but for everybody in California, rest assured, you too can have a Glock option to defend your home. It is a single shot variant. That was the only way they were able to sneak it through in California, but rest assured, you guys
hate it.
You don't, yeah. Imagine a musket with a striker fire, with the striker fire trigger on it. Glock perfection.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
Looks high end. It probably has like an evacuation bore.
Yeah, only the most modern Austrian features. They, for some reason, they had to keep the same grip angle though, even on a musket. They were like, you know what, Glock grip angle. That's what you really want. Probably go hunting with it too.
Yeah, you could probably get that shipped straight to your house.
Okay, but does a switch work on it yet? That's the big question.
Musket switch.
With enough time.
Dude, a semi-auto musket where it like has a contraption on the end that shoves the powder, the wad, the bullet down, and then
they put them all in there at once, and each bullet has a little burn.
Well, yeah, but it's like a robotic arm, right? That shoves it into the barrel, and then it has a second arm that pushes it all the way to the bottom, and then you can pull the trigger again.
Kind of like the Aloft system for the shotguns. It's a giant
I don't know
arm.
If you've ever seen those like fantasy semi-auto crossbows where there's like some wacky contraption that recocks the crossbow every time. It'd look like that. It's some steampunk fantasy thing. It'd be cool though.
Hey, but can you imagine like a gangbanger in the Bay Area who like stumbles upon a time machine and brings switches back to like the 1770s? Like, guys, I love history. Like, I need you to win better this time. And
wait, which people does he show up to?
Win better.
The
I
North?
have a question.
Oh, good question.
Given the North switches, or does he go to Africa and try to get them to, here, you guys got to fight off the colonists with these, okay? This will give you the technological
Force
edge.
multiplier starts using like Hegseth terms.
Well, I mean,
if he comes across a time machine and time is a racist white man's construct, would he even know what to do with the time machine?
probably just wait for time to happen.
If it hasn't happened yet.
Well, what if it's like he's doing the USB thing with the Kia and it takes him back in time, like just by accident?
Right. I love the idea that those cars can be hacked. Kia Souls stay losing, by the way. They can be hacked with a USB, just any USB, and it's like, all right, this car is mine now.
I'm so glad I sold mine before it got stolen.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you were a Kia Soul owner. That's why you're not John Prime. You can't be John Prime. If you own a Kia Soul.
It wasn't a Kia Soul. It was a Kia Sorento, and it was purple, and it was awesome.
A purple,
like
OEM purple.
Yep, purple Kia Sorento.
I've never seen a purple. I don't think I've seen a purple car in a minute.
That was my graduation gift from my grandma. Her old car.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
the
kind
coolest.
of a flex.
Yeah, that's the coolest car.
Hey, I didn't care what color it was. I got a car.
Yeah, dude, it drives.
I'm the soul owner, John. Remember? They told me I was heartless, so I went out and I bought a soul.
Yeah, Kia Solis, purple cars are gay. Yeah. My car's unreliable. Whatever. Fine.
I'm hoping that
Chessburger, you don't drive a Charger, do you? Because that would be the trifecta of just bad cars.
My BMW, I have a 2003 BMW, and the right window won't go up, so I have to avoid rainy days right now.
Yeah. That's about right. So I had a 1997 Volvo S40, and it just the engine was great, but everything else just started to go out on it. Yeah. Speaking of tanks, though, everybody's favorite Double Lot Sean, the real Double Lot Sean. I don't know if you followed this, Chest Rigger, but we had this guy come out. He was calling Vintage Warfare a pedo and all this stuff, but he got his channel taken down or hacked, and there's somebody impersonating him or something. But the real Double Lot Sean had to come out and defend his honor.
This is a message to all my followers on Clapper and YouTube. My main YouTube channel has been taken over by an imposter who calls himself Sean. I am the real Sean. In case you're wondering why I'm not showing my face right now, it's because the imposter cut my ears off and I plan to get them back. Right now I'm hiding out in my shed out the backside of my house. He's locked me in my shed. Right now he's figuring out what to do with me next. As I've said, he's taking my ears hostage. He's cut my ears off and I plan to get them back. Back when he was in New Mexico to go to Two Guns to find Austin of Vintage Warfare, he took his ears too. He's got Austin's ears locked in a lockbox in his bedroom, and I'm gonna break in there and take those ears for myself and put them on my face, and you guys can see my face again.
Now he's about to pull out something that he took off of a whore in Denver, but yeah, we got Liquid Sean before GTA 6. So Godspeed on getting your ears back, Double Sean. Big fan of the man.
Is Vintage Warfare like in a? Because I remember that guy was making threats. Like, has that been lifted, or that's still ongoing? So
I don't know which one of you fools out there made this parody account, but it's very good. You should make more videos. I find that very funny. He Double Lot Sean, from what I remember, deleted a lot of his videos, so he's kind of backed down a little bit, which he should, because he shouldn't be going out there claiming people are, you know, registered sex offenders and pedos and other things, and then threatening them and their families. Yeah.
Most of the videos
super great.
Still up. Most of the videos are still up. He deleted the ones when he was like he was uploading like 9 a day.
Yes.
So he deleted some of those, but at least 1 or 2 a day, completely full of defamation and death threats, are still up.
Well, can't guys have fun anymore? Come on.
Look, after 2 videos, they're trench grenades. They're not videos anymore. They're just fucking grenades.
Like literally trench grenade, because he posts a lot. So it's like after a while, they just all run together. I don't remember what the title of the video is. But no, I hope that Vintage slaps his pee-pee and gets his ears back. That's tragic.
Well,
good.
Little Birdie told me that Vintage might not even have to slap his pee-pee, that somebody else might be doing it for him.
You mean somebody else? This man is pissed off somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
That just doesn't sound reasonable. That doesn't sound like something Double Lot Sean would do.
I hear he's a nice guy.
Speaking of, this is our little YouTube schizo roundup here. Okay, so Gun Gnome This is we talked about this guy a couple times. Very interesting person. He's also threatened James Reeves, Vintage, and a few other people. Says he's going to be at SHOT Show with a gun. You know, just things that normal people say in conversation. He used to be semi-large. Well, he's still large, but he used to be semi-large on TikTok before they canceled his account for threatening their support staff, which is again just something that you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't threaten to show up to their headquarters and have a conversation with them in person. Probably not something that you should do. He's still alive on Instagram and YouTube, but he sent me like 70 unanswered DMs the other day. Now I haven't even read these, so I just found them funny. And then guess what? After he sent me all of these, he blocked me. So I can't even respond to any of it. But it's all, I'm sure some of it's funny, at least. But it's just the ramblings of a schizo man. Maybe I'll get to go see him at SHOT Show in about 2 months. Oh, it's almost exactly 2 months. Yeah. Maybe we'll be able to do a live stream in person. But yeah, many schizo ramblings from Double Lot Sean and Mr. Gun.
This is all on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, I don't know. Completely unanswered. And then let me see if I can find the last one, because he ends up just blocking me at the end. See, look, at the end he says, see, there's basically no having a conversation with you. You just want to provoke and get content, and that's why I'll be blocking you permanently now. I've given you every opportunity to respond to the things I say. Keep in mind that these like 70 messages are within like a 2-hour block. So the fact that I did not respond to him in a relatively short amount of time meant that I got blocked by this individual. Yeah.
You need
I knew you were good at shooting. Were you former IDF?
No, I was not. That's also funny. No, not former IDF, but I work for the FBI. I am a federal informant. Yeah, not IDF, but one of the other 3-letter agencies.
Okay.
Yeah,
but you are an active rabbi.
Oh, dude, there actually is a yes, certified rabbi. There was actually a funny one in here somewhere. This one, right? He says suburb white people are not white. Your women could be used for useful wombs for the breeding program in the future. They will be in the birthing sheds.
What?
So
what a swell guy.
He kept going on how like me and Vintage are suburb white people, not real white people. Keep in mind that he lives in like
that is the purest form of white people.
Well, no. So his thing is like I'm an agricultural man. Keep in mind that he lives in like a Californian city, and it's like.
Oh,
I don't know, bro.
They have a lot of agriculture between Los Angeles and San Francisco. That's only what they have. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, cannabis doesn't count.
I mean, this man's on something that's warped his mind for sure. I don't know what this guy's issue is, but it's quite funny. Quite funny.
Research chemicals.
He was the test dummy for all of them. All right. Well,
let's brain melted by MK Ultra. That's probably what happened.
Let's see. What should we go to? Okay, we're gonna go 6 Hour news. We have a couple pieces of 6 Hour news. Excuse me. So, the 6 Hour just unveiled a few days ago the M17 and M18 new configurations that just got approved. So, we have the MHS GFC, which has like new controls and a magwell and stuff like that for the M17, M18. So, because of course they have their the MHX accessory kit, the new MHS General Forces configuration, as seen below, introduces the first changes to be implemented as part of enhancements and modernization of the M17 and M18 pistols. Among the improvements offered by the accessories are increased precision and probability of hit, reduced training time, and faster, easier handling. All of this is expected to translate into even greater performance in various operational conditions. Basically, it's a few accessories and whatnot for their new pistols. Now, you know, they've been embroiled in some controversy online, you could say, with a few incidents happening here and there. However, I don't think that the military is going to be switching off of the M18, M17 program anytime soon. And I think that you could see this remain the pistol for the next decade, at least. And essentially what this is like you get some extra grip enhancements, new magazine release. I think they're updating the safeties as well. We've talked about that before, and a magwell. So they're making these almost like competition style handguns, if you will. Like they're adding in like, you know, performance features you might see in limited or something like that. And I think it will make it easier for the average person, less train up time, reloads will be easier, so on and so forth. Ergos will be a little bit better. But I don't know what you think about this, Marlon, but every time that they unveil some like new part for a pistol or some new contract, I'm like, do people even use these anymore? Are these really an integral part of our fighting force? These new performance modifying kits and stuff like that?
So really funny. I gifted my brother M17 a while ago, like many years ago. And with all the shit happening, I love him. So I'm like, hey, here's how you fly with this. Pack it, bring it here. You can take my VP9. I don't want you to have that gun anymore. I want to sleep better. So now I have an M17 for a bit. They're status symbols, really. Like for most troops, with the exception of like SOF and just using a pistol a lot in like courses of fire, they're either to kind of show status or like if it's in some countries, like if you go to the bathroom or something, you just bring a gun with you. And that's like nice to have a pistol versus like, you know, wearing your flip-flops and carrying an M4 every day to shower.
Right.
So you don't really need you want a good pistol. But I think with this, you would have to reapproach the contract. Like, I don't think you can make design changes and then it's not like a update that you just pump out like, oh, well, hey.
So
why not?
I forget how it works, because I think this was part of the contract, is that they're able to update it in the future. That's why I think that's part of their reasoning for going with a quote unquote modular handgun in the first place, right? So it says that according to Sig Sauer, soldiers will have the ability to replace individual parts at the user levels. Upgrades such as new grip module, wide magazine well, takedown lever with a gas pedals type ledge, RM117 pistol red dot, which I think is just the Romeo X enclosed. It's made for the 320. Specialized barrels and other accessories are available to convert existing MHS configuration into the MHS GFC, or to customize it with individual components according to the user's needs. So
now, quick question. That gas pedal is most definitely going to interfere with any sort of holsters that they already have, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. I don't know, like in a limited holster where you're barely covering any of the gun, doesn't matter at all. But for like a Safari Land or any level 2, level 3 holster, it's absolutely not going to fit unless you have a specialized holster for that gas pedal. Again, this looks like something you would see in limited.
Just doesn't
this looks like
seem like a
gun.
very good idea in general.
Dude, I can't believe that like you identified something that exactly is like a linchpin for this, because the holsters thing, like no one's going to want to buy another holster.
No.
And especially that they issue the ones without the optics cut. So it's like already limiting. Like,
yeah.
They talk about modularity, but then they're like, here, have the one that has.
Correct. It's like, all right, go get the RDS version of your holster. It's like, oh, you didn't get the thumb rest version of the holster? Sorry, bro. I don't even know if they make gas pedal holsters. Like duty gas pedal holsters. I don't know if that thing exists. In the chat,
they might.
Does a duty style
goes through.
Gas pedal holster exist? Because you just have to make the opening even bigger than it already was.
Yeah,
I think they just do a cutaway, right? Just like they do with
you
the
would have to cut away for sure, but now your holster is getting wider, basically, right?
The one I seen that had one on it, it wasn't wider. There was just a notch for that.
Yeah, I also feel like it's just a bad idea to allow individual soldiers to personalize their handguns.
Yeah, it just seems a bit silly.
Like, I don't know, swapping out like safeties and magazine releases and stuff like that just sounds like a recipe for disaster.
I don't even think they're allowed to put a light on it.
Depends on who you're with. Like if you're deployed, you do what you need to do. You know.
I ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Yeah,
if you're in those situations, I guess.
And if you're able to, like, I mean, this is unofficially being said, but like if you're able to bring certain parts with you, and again, it depends on who you're with, but I've seen like dudes run Glocks that weren't issued and stuff like that. Not the outfit I was with, but other people in country. So,
well, that's like when people are trying to clone like very specific builds, and then they see somebody who actually served, and it's like, oh, their rifle's not clone accurate. Then the guy's like, no, this is exactly how I had my rifle set up, you idiot.
It's just what people use.
It's like this
you
is
might
what
have some consequences if you do the wrong thing over there. But you could do whatever, really.
That's a great segue, because speaking of consequences, the second bit of SIG news also having to do with the SIG Sauer. I saw
thought
this
it
pop
ended.
up as well. No, I know. Well, sir, 12th class action lawsuit? 12? 11? It's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. Ballman files class action lawsuit alleging safety defect in P320. This is going to kind of rehash all the stuff that we've heard before. Washington, and this was 3 days ago. The Washington gun owner has filed a proposed class action lawsuit alleging Sig Sauer sold its popular P320 handgun with a safety defect that can cause the pistol to fire without anyone pulling the trigger, according to a complaint filed Monday in federal court. The lawsuit, Patrick Schreiber of Bothell, which is actually, I'm going to be back in Washington in 3 weeks, claims the firearm is defectively designed because it becomes fully energized the moment a round is chambered and has an unusually light and short trigger pull. So they're not actually saying... They're going with the defense that won, or the offense that won that one case, because essentially they're saying that even if somebody did something wrong, the gun is negligently designed because it doesn't have any sort of external safety. Like a Glock has a trigger blade safety, P320s don't, and so really it is just the trigger that acts as everything, and the trigger is too light. It's negligent to be sold on the market, basically.
Yeah, do you guys follow Tom Reeves, the lawyer guy on YouTube?
Tom Reeves, yeah. I don't watch his stuff often, but I know who he is, yes.
Yeah, it can be a bit dry at times, but I think that's what he was saying, that defense of the trigger pull thing, and also the different angles of the drop that they found, where Sig gained the ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
the negative 30-degree angle. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's just going to be a copy and paste defense or offense.
Because I think in the one case where there was a officer who shot himself, a black man who had shot himself while carrying the gun unholstered in his pants. So it was kind of just
Testicular torsion!
It wasn't that one, although that looks very similar. Thank you for pulling that up, Richard. That scared me. I was like, what is going on? What just hijacked my stream? But no, so I think he was off duty. He was around the courthouse somewhere, going in and out, doing his thing, and the gun went off. And the jury came to the conclusion basically that even if he had pulled the trigger, the gun was still designed negligently because, there was no sort of trigger safety built into it. The trigger's too light, and it's not designed to stop foreign objects from actuating the trigger, right? And I think the guy won like $2 million, 2.3, something like that.
Damn.
A lot of money. And again, I would say that's unsafe. I wouldn't carry my Glock without a holster, just charged in my pants. That would not be my preference either. Even I might have more confidence than if I was carrying a P320 because it does have a trigger tab safety, but still, it's not ideal.
Yeah, always have a holster, guys, please.
And now this guy, I don't believe he even hurt himself with his P320, but he did buy one in 2021. So he's not saying that he got hurt with it. He's essentially just saying, hey, I was sold this gun and they negligently designed it. I bought it and I could have had something bad happen to me.
Huh.
So Schreiber's lawsuit argues that every P320 sold in Washington shares the same internal fire control design and that consumers paid full price for a product that did not meet basic expectations for safety. Attorneys claim the alleged defect exists across all P320 models, and I think there's about 3.5 million individual pistols in the market right now, and variants because they use the same internal mechanism. Court documents cite Sig Sauer's own 2017 internal analysis for the U.S. Army, which rated unintentional discharges as high risk, capable of causing catastrophic injury, which is that leaked sheet. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's basically a spreadsheet where in their own internal investigations for the Army, it was like the red column was like unintentional discharges high because they didn't no internal safety. They have internal safety. They have 3 internal safeties, but no external safety and no actual trigger safety on it.
Huh.
So, despite that assessment, the complaint states Sig Sauer did not add external safety features or warn customers. Instead, the suit says the company continued to promote the P320 as having safety without compromise while publicly dismissing reports of accidental firings. The lawsuit also highlights dozens of personal injury cases filed in recent years, many involving officers who said their holstered weapons fired unexpectedly. The end includes examples of agencies pulling the gun from service following training range incidents and documented injuries. I think that whether SIG is actually guilty of any of these individual cases, there is a lot of like circumstantial evidence that makes it look worse and worse against SIG, especially to a jury of people that don't really know what they're looking at or don't understand firearms. But they're going to see all of these claims of people who say that the gun went off on their own. They're going to see all of these police agencies and departments dropping the handgun, not physically dropping it, but dropping it from service or banning it from service, or ranges banning them from even being on their premises, right? And that's going to stack up against SIG in a court of law, even if subconsciously, right? If a lot of this stuff goes to jury trial. So even if like you can dismiss like 90% of these cases as facetious and nonsense, like I think it's still going to be bad for SIG in the long run, just because you have all this circumstantial evidence piling up in people's minds.
I mean, hey, all they have to do is convince 12 retards. So,
I mean, a jury of your peers may not be very peer-like, but yep, sir, another class action lawsuit has faced the Sig Sauer P320.
At least that
Now-
one has its iron sights attached to the slide, not the plate that pops off.
Yeah. No, that's for the modular sites. They need to come off at a moment's notice. You never know.
just
But,
in case.
Another silly little update. So, Marlon, you're a piston aficionado. What do you think
Yes.
about the SCAR 16 and 17?
They are violent in recoil. Like the gas regulator does jack shit. I'm so surprised how well they hold up for how violent they are, but I like them. I think if they would regas them, it'd be a good thing. But in my experience with, I've only really shot the 17, not the 16.
Mhm.
And the SCAR 20 is a tack driver. So I've shot two of those, and they're under a minute groups. And yeah, so.
No,
I'm excited.
I've only heard
Yeah.
good things about the SCAR 20s, especially like if I could get one in 6.5 Creedmoor, that would be awesome. But I have a 17 behind me right now. And that one there actually has the, what do you call it? The discarder, which has the 12 position gas block on it, or the gas regulator on it. That actually makes it shoot really nice, whether suppressed or unsuppressed. And if they could just fix that, that'd be awesome. Recently,
Yeah.
I don't know why companies don't offer at least even an option like that, because surely it's been out for 20 years. FN could have made a couple improvements, which
No.
maybe they'll be talking about that at SHOT Show, which we'll get to in this post. Same thing with the MCXs, right? The MCXs only have two positions too, right? The new ones,
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
which is always a little obnoxious to me. Like I like the 516, Caracal 816. They both have three positions, and it just seems like you can tune it into what you actually want, and it feels a lot better.
I like the Waffenberg gas blocks for 416s. I'm a big fan of that because it gives you 5 positions. You don't need all 5, but when you start playing with
It's
different
nice to have
ammo,
though.
yeah, it's very nice to have.
Yeah, well, especially for something like an 416 where they're like overcharged from the factory, basically, right?
No, that was like the original one that didn't have a vent, but as soon as they vented them, they're pretty smooth.
Interesting. Well, so this is a post from FN America. Yeah, well, yeah, it's either HK hate or HK love. Yeah, there's really no in between, and it's people. It's the difference between people who think that they're too expensive and then the people that look down on people who think they're too expensive.
Well, I'll throw something out there because I actually got to shoot a real G36K last weekend. Sometimes like people misunderstand why a polymer rifle is useful, and like if you have to carry a like 50 cal tripod or other like heavy equipment and a lot of ammunition, you're going to want to take off the pounds. So like something like a SCAR or G36 is nice, and if it's government owned, like it doesn't have to last a lifetime. It just needs to last a deployment or two.
Well, yeah, for that, who cares what the cost is, right? If it does what you need it to do in the moment as a soldier, you don't care what it costs, right? Uncle Sam's paying for it all.
It is what it is, and if you don't have to pay for it or you don't have a choice, who really cares?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so FN America made this post. Legends never die, but they do evolve. ... See what we have coming at the 2026 SHOT Show. So they are They are. Oops, can we pause? They are teasing a new Scar coming out in 20, or at least being shown off at SHOT Show 2026. So they killed the Scar to bring the Scar back like 3 months later.
They made
Okay.
everybody panic buy all the ones on the market. And now
Dude,
they're releasing it again.
Well played.
Beast just bought one because he was like, oh, they're going to be gone. I got to buy one. I got to buy one right now. So he went out and he bought one for $3,500. Right.
Oh,
It arrived. It looks timing. It arrived the day before they made this post.
Oh,
He unboxed. He's like, I got my new Scar. And it's like, hey, we're bringing it back. He's like, no, I bought the last model before the the new generation comes out.
he died November
I hope-
10th.
Yeah,
this,
tragic.
I hope this new generation also your warranty is void if you attach a suppressor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that was a
always
weird
fun.
thing because it makes no sense. And they're issued with suppressors. So they're still issued, but there's a thing called the joint something. I don't think it's called maybe operational stock. And it's like a shit ton of cool weapons. It's like they used to have like printout catalogs, but now it's just a CD. And if you're about to go on deployment or have like a purpose, you can request these things. And you get the full Scar kit with the Elkin 6 power, the AC suppressor, I think. So FN knows that they're going to be shot suppressed. So it's like a very shitty way of being like, well, if you, yeah, I never understood that.
FN is a weird company to me because they make like really good stuff, and some of their stuff is like super innovative, super novel, great designs for the time. Like think about the F2000 that's been around for like 20 years, 25 years with its forward ejection on a bullpup. And then they just never did anything with that. It's like they never tried to modernize it. They never. Well, I mean, I think they had a flat top version.
Yeah,
at
the
one
flat
point,
top one. Yeah.
Yeah, but they kind of just let these designs sit and stagnate and die. And I wonder if it's because they have contracts, and so it's not worth updating it for the civilian market if they're making the same thing for the military side of things, because they're still making the Scar, but they're just making it for government overseas contracts. Basically, they just said we're canceling it for the civilian market.
Yeah, culturally they're messed up because I had a friend and she was like, "Hey, I know someone in FN. You want anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, Scar 17. What's the price on that?" That's like the one gun they can't use their employee discount on. So, like, okay,
Well, that's what everybody wants, probably. Yeah.
So it's like, what else is there? Like, oh, and nothing wrong with FN AR-15s, but that's not really like I'm not going to go to FN for an AR-15.
Well,
go to
right.
America.
That's the
A
thing.
lot
Their
of interesting stuff.
FN,
It's just-
not the Guardian line, but their midline of ARs is actually a really good like parts list. It's a nice value on the market. And then of course they discontinued it. I think it was the TAC 3 or whatever it was, because it came with like the Hodge wedge lock rail, or whoever, the Zev Mega wedge lock rail, the FN barrel on the inside, right, and everything else. And it was like $1,500, which is for a quote unquote duty rifle. It's not a bad deal.
No, not at all. I don't get it because like they would sell these like hotcakes if they were $2,000.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. Surely over 20 years you could bring the cost down. You could it's not like they're not particularly complex rifles either.
No,
There's I don't know, man. I feel like they've made a lot of money off of these. Obviously they have. They've been extremely successful. But yeah, I feel like making $3,500 a pop off of a collector makes a lot more sense to them.
I don't think they've been successful. I think they've had a lot of issues. So
With
this is
the-
probably why they're like, someone was like, "Hey, if people are asking for the Scar 17, let's bring it back." Yeah, because they've been having a lot of trouble, I'm sure. I mean, they came out with the Scar 15P, and for me, I look at that gun, I'm like, dude, that's sick. Like an 8-inch 5.56. Like this would be great for some kind of successor to the HK53. And then you YouTube it, and it's Coleon Noir calling it a truck gun or something weird like that. It's like, okay, it's completely out of its role. And it's
Well,
like
I
that's
mean,
who they pay to like promote it, not like doing some sexy like close protection detailed demonstration with that thing. They get a guy to be like, this is whatever.
I shot
Goes in
two
my-
mags through
I
this.
like the idea of Colin Noir putting a $4,000 Scar 15P or $3,500 or whatever it is in as a truck gun. I like that. That's a great recommendation. It's like putting a Rolex in your in your car for some reason. I don't know about
In
that.
case I forget it.
But I mean, they've been successful in terms of like not necessarily American military contracts, but they have contracts all over the world for these rifles. So I mean, there's a reason why I don't know how good their American civilian sales were, because that they were only canceling sales of the SCAR 17 and 16 for the American civilian market. They were maintaining all of the contracts that were already in place.
And then
So,
I
for
saw in
whatever
the
reason-
chat someone asked about the 516, the new one, and that plays into this. The new one is going to get smoked by whatever FN and everyone else offers because the new 516 is just weird.
The
It's like
SIG
3
516.
different. Yeah, the new one, the
Mohawk?
Mohawk.
Well, so the way I've had it described to me by somebody who's like kind of inside at SIG says like the front half is kind of MCX, not quite, and it has like an MCX bolt in it, and then the back half is its own thing basically, and it's still utilizing an AR-15 buffer tube and all that sort of stuff. And it's also it's not like a terribly expensive rifle. They're only about $2,000, which for like a modern piston rifle is like it's okay, but it's not exciting to me. I wouldn't go out and buy one.
No,
I already
wouldn't.
have an AR. Show me something cool.
I think people are going to watch your 516 video and then want to find like the law enforcement trade-ins and stuff like that.
Dude,
Because
so
I liked your 516. That was a
I
good
love
one.
the 516. The 516 and 816. I think they're great rifles. Honestly, they should have just kept making those. But I looked at a police trade-in. I think it was either the 10.5 or the 11.5. And they were wanted like $850 for them, covered in rust. And I'm like, that's
And wouldn't budge?
that's well, that was their asking price, and they were used condition police trade-ins, and on the pictures that they had for them, there was like rust all over the gas blocks, regulators, just everything. And I'm like, for $850, that's I don't know if they just got a pallet of them or something, but I'm like, I don't think so. That's a little too much. I do want
Don't
one
be
though.
a coward. A little rust never hurt
Yeah,
anything.
little
made out
rust
of
never
metal.
hurt nobody.
Well, you know what? How they probably rusted? It's not the department's fault. It's probably because it was like in some kind of legal limbo for like months, just sitting in a warehouse to be
Oh
like,
yeah, wherever they happen to
released
store
from-
them. Yeah.
yeah. That's a bummer.
Yeah, just leave it outside. Who cares?
You could.
Well,
I
speaking
don't.
of,
It's probably the humidity, right, that killed it.
yeah, I mean it's where I don't know. It could have been a Florida police department that had like a pallet of them or something like that, right?
Just
Like,
leave it
we
right
gotta
on the
we gotta get
beach.
rid of these guys. Now I know
It's
in the
patina.
chat people are saying, it's piston versus DI. Piston guns get mogged by ARs anyway, says Chud. Well, they did lose out to this. Now this is our everybody's favorite Sons of Liberty Gunworks awarded USS SOCOM contract for the Mark I rifle. Sons of Liberty Gunworks is proud to announce it has been awarded a contract by the U.S. Special Operations Command for the Combat Assault Rifle program following a rigorous competitive evaluation. A select fire variant of the Sons of Liberty Gunworks Mark I rifle with a 11.5 inch barrel was chosen to equip America's most elite warfighter. SOCOM's evaluation demanded the highest standards of small arms performance, including extensive trials for durability, precision, reliability, and environmental resilience. The Sons of Liberty Gunworks rifle endured extreme conditions, heat, cold, dust, mud, and salt exposure while maintaining consistent function and accuracy. The Mark I Select SOCOM is the result of a multi-year development effort building upon Sons of Liberty Gunworks' extensive experience producing ultra-reliable rifles trusted by law enforcement and civilian shooters. Every component was analyzed and refined to maximize reliability, shootability, and durability while ensuring the platform can perform anywhere in the world. Woohoo! Your new DevGru rifle is the Sons of Liberty Gunworks Mark I 11.5. Kind of a neat rifle. I'm gonna look it up real fast though. I think these guys are a little spendy.
Another AR? Let's go.
Look,
Yeah. This one's cool though.
some people are looking at it like I need to get one because I can resell it later. The pro gamer move is to, if you're in the military, is to find this weapon, become its best friend, get all the merch, all that stuff, go to all the courses, whatever, and you'll have a job for the rest of your life.
Well, so I just looked it up from their website right now. Take a guess at the MSRP.
2.5.
28. I'm going to go high.
Okay.
You're not. Neither of you guys are high enough. It's $3,200.
Why?
$3,200.
Never mind.
That's touching Knight's prices, bro. That is not cheap for the 11.5 model. Yeah,
I thought I was going
$3,200.
high. What the hell?
$3,200, bro.
For a
this is the new-
DIAR. Let's go.
for hey, it's got a nice rail and receiver set on it or something. I don't know, dude.
Hey, look at the furniture that you're going to replace.
Yeah, look at it. It looks fine. Looks fine. It has the Huxworks
my
muzzle device on it.
gosh.
That's $150, bro. Come on.
Yeah, it's a good piece
Yeah.
of 17.4 steel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about $4 worth of material right there. This is an incredible honor for Sons of Liberty Gunworks and something I dreamed about when I was building my first rifles in Raj said Mike Michalski, founder of Sons of Liberty Gunworks.
Last name.
He's Polish. Our mission has always been to build the world's finest fighting rifles for those who go into harm's way. To have SOCOM select our rifle after such a demanding trial is the ultimate validation of that mission. CEO Nate Horvath added, I am incredibly proud of our team for their effort on this project and excited to officially share the news. The Mark I has already seen strong adoption in the commercial and law enforcement markets, where its performance advantages are immediately clear. While this milestone is significant, our team remains focused on delivering reliable, high-quality, performance-driven fighting rifles to all of our customers. The future of the Mark I family is bright, and there's more to come. I mean, listen, if you're USS SOCOM and you're like, I have a lot of money, I want a really nice rifle, I think the Mark I is probably not a terrible way to go if you want some of the newest technological advancements in ARs, which usually boils down to our barrel steel is 5% better, our bolts are a little better, and the handguard is really rigid. That's basically what it goes down to. But yeah, $3,200, and you guys.
What is the
are
actual
funding it.
contract though? Like, do they know how many? Because a contract could be just for 5 guns if it really came down to it, you know.
It really could. Let me pull it up right now.
Because some people in the chat are talking about the URGI, and it's like, yeah, they already issue 11.5-inch URGI uppers.
Somebody had the full link, and I'm trying to find it real fast.
But it is a cool looking rifle. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have to spend so much money, it would be pretty cool.
Is this company like? Do they? I mean, I'm familiar with Sons of Liberty, but I don't know their pricing or product lines. Would they like have something very similar to this that's not that high? Like maybe a.
So Sons of Liberty Gunworks, I can't show it on screen because YouTube doesn't like when I show websites and pricing on a screen. But essentially, the Mark I is like their newest, from the ground up, their own in-house designs, materials, parts changes, so on and so forth. For a long time, they've just sold like other people's parts and then in-house assembly. So they'll like contract Ballistic Advantage, Roscoe, and a few other guys to like make their barrels. They used to have this, or I should say, actually, they still have the Zev Mega wedge lock rails for a lot of their stuff. So it's kind of an amalgamation of other people's parts that they essentially just assemble into their own builds, right? So it's pretty generic stuff. So really, they started out basically as an assembler. So they took off-the-shelf components from other people at, dealer prices, wholesale prices, or whatnot. Good assembly, good warranty. For a while, actually, I think they still have this service, but if you're a police officer and you use your gun in the line of duty and it gets put into the evidence locker, they ship you a replacement gun.
Ooh.
So and they have a good warranty. They have a good rep in the industry. A couple of years ago, I think they were doing some videos with people like Garand Thumb and some of the other big guys kind of getting their name out there, and that's where I first heard about them. But people rave about their build quality, about their quality control. And that's, I think, what they're really good at. The Mark I is their first branch into like completely new parts that are designed for them from the ground up for a complete rifle system. But other than that, it's like good quality assembly and good part selection, basically. It's nothing really all that special. Some people in the chat absolutely love them. Some people swear by them. One of our guys in chat is their biggest fan.
Is Chest Rigger one of the surprise pilots?
Surprise pilots. That's good. That's good. I don't know how he survived. He must be made out of a passport.
Look, to become a pilot, you have to be able to land.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that was the hard part. That was good.
Who needs to
Landing was
land?
But hey, the joinery on that handguard is pretty cool to that receiver. I do think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a nice setup, right? And so I think
It
that
looks
I forget how
neat.
it locks up. You can see the texturing on the rail itself.
Yeah.
Let me get
Oh,
let me
that's
Ribs
let
for
me
your
pretty cool.
pleasure.
let me get a they actually have some interesting stuff that they did with the rail. Let me see if I can get an up close picture of it. Because they like cut away the top Picatinny for cable management, so you can actually lay your cables down in the middle of the Picatinny rail on top, which is like
Oh, okay.
kind of interesting, right? So they
That's
did some
neat.
novel things, and yeah, they get to charge $3,200 for doing a couple novel things to it. But yeah, I mean, it's their low end models are like $1,500 for like a generic AR. So it's like a little bit overpriced for what is essentially other people's parts assembled by Sons of Liberty Gunworks, but you get a good warranty, and you know it's not assembled by meth head Jimothy down the road at PSA, right?
Look, they should get all the Sonoran Desert Institute graduates
Yeah.
and be like, hey,
Yeah,
do you
they-
guys want to put together some DevGru rifles?
They specifically don't do that, right? They specifically say if you have an SDI degree, we don't hire you. You actually don't get to
Oh.
be here.
It's time to serve your country.
Well, good
Gunnery
on them. I know
crew.
that'll make some of the people in the chat very happy that.
I like to see
Little
the
Sons of Liberty
ADM
Gunworks.
praised in the chat. ADM is slept on.
Well, so of late, Geisley got selected for the MRGGA. LMT got, well, no, Geisley didn't win. LMT got the MRGGA, right?
Well,
But
there's
I
different
think-
ones, which is weird
Yeah. Pull it up.
because you would think that the MRGG should just be one family that, you know, instead of having an assaulter rifle and a sniper rifle of different companies, you have one that right? MRGG it.
Yeah, I forget it, but I know LMT just won another one for the 14.565 Creedmoor, which is like, oh, that's a cool system. But it seems
Oh,
like
that's a
they're
bummer
handing
for
out.
Knights.
Well, it seems like they're handing out contracts to a lot of different companies, so they're kind of spreading it around a little bit, which is good. I think it's better to have that than like the SIG monolith, where that's everything. That's your
Nah,
optics.
bro,
That's your
we gotta
suppressors.
centralize
That's your light
it.
machine gun. That's your fighting rifle. That's everything.
We gotta centralize it only to SIG. I feel like that's a great idea and can't go wrong.
Yeah. Surely there's no corruption involved with that either. Need to give
Never.
BCA a contract? No.
Well, I
No.
think with SIG, they're just smart. I mean, like, look, we saw the gas pedal thing. Like, they know how to game the game.
Well, listen, if you could just make it look cool, right? Why not? That's gonna make your soldiers want to carry an M17, M18.
Yeah.
Okay,
Guys,
so
they gotta go faster. on
the
side of it.
MRGGA, which I think is the 14.5, is the LMT, and then the MRGGS is Geisley. Okay.
It's so fucking dumb.
I, you wouldn't want them to both have the same rifle, but say Levy.
Because
Because,
we're
like,
stupid.
Team snipers, they pick a rifle for whatever the op you're about to do. So it's like the whole MRGG thing was like, instead of having a Mark 11 and a K1 or whatever other departments have or agencies or branches, it's like, oh, I could take this upper or rip out the barrel and put, just play Legos. And it's like, dude, you just made it again a huge.
Yeah, the 0 parts
Just-
compatibility. Congratulations. Two
Need an
completely
extra
separate
case.
different platforms. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Legos and Mega Blocks. It doesn't go together.
Yeah, basically. LMD is mega blocks in this case.
Dude, like, who's gonna hire
Uh,
Dank? Like, he could have stopped Sig from putting gas pedals on guns that are
Don't
not
put
going to
a
go in the
gas
holsters
pedal
Well,
for
on
so,
the
service.
fucking pistol. It
the-
doesn't fit in any of the holsters. You jackasses.
The Japanese have a term or have a position like the angry American in the room where the guy just tells people no, basically, and that would be Dank. Just put Dank in every office. It's like just
I'm gonna
one
call
Dank.
every single idea gay.
That's gay. Don't do that again. How dare you bring this to me? Yeah, next PSA is going to get a contract, and then we'll know it's over.
PSA
Fingers
will get
crossed.
contracts if we're losing.
Well, you say that, but if people needed more manufacturing capability, you might see very wacky companies start making some stuff.
Hey, come on. PSA is great stuff. My buddy bought a Peanut 15 or whatever that was with the squirrel, and it took him like 4 months to get it.
Wow.
That's just how that goes sometimes.
You know what? Honestly, he deserves it for buying a meme lower from Palmetto State Armory. I'm just going to say it. He was asking
does.
for it. He saw what
Yeah.
he was wearing.
So PSA, I went to their store once with the other Op Rod kid, Zach. They thought we were trying to straw purchase because we had our phones out. We were taking like pictures. So
I
they
think
had like
there
someone
was,
like talking to the mic, and they're like, "Hey, come
I think
over
there was
here."
some racial profiling right there. I think you got
You do look
racially
the part,
profiled,
though.
sir.
Oh yeah, Habibi,
Like,
which
oh,
one do you
what?
want?
Just like shiftily looking up at them, like, oh,
Which movie was it in again? Yeah.
yeah.
Does this kill American dogs good?
Oh my gosh! Whoa! All right, well, let's get to some of these super chats, and then we're going to talk about Somali scams with our Somali
God.
correspondent here. This will
Somali
be
correspondent.
fantastic.
Oh fuck! I don't think I have the knife here or anything. Oh, it's in the basement.
Don't go for the knife. He's got a knife. Get him. Timothy Tastewell for 2 says, "Let's snuggle." Nope. No, thank you. I choose the man and not the bear. Oh, that was bad phrasing.
Whoa.
Coppertone for 10 says, "Richard, Hugo Boss, Sydney Sweeney." And then Wongoff, thank you, Coppertone, appreciate that, very generous of you, sir. The Lightspore for 2 says, "Y'all think Focus is late to big life events too?" Yeah, dude, I was late to my own birth, bro. Think I'm not going to be late to a show? Tragic. Focus Trip's wife for 5 says, "Every time I'm late to something, I remind myself, at least I'm focused late." Does that mean like 5 to 10 minutes? Because that's usually where I end up. Thank you, Anna. Amrite Boy for 2 says, "Later and gayer than a Portland Pride Parade." Man, damn. BCS 1488 for $20 says, "Absolutely nothing." Thank you. That is incredibly
Really cool
incredibly
picture,
basic. BCS. I don't know where that's at.
You're getting called a slur. I don't know which one. Whichever one I feel like saying at the moment. You're getting.
Thank you, BCS. Appreciate that, man. Lightspore for 2 says, "Remember when Ellen Page was hot?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching the Inception trailer and I was like, oh yeah, Ellen Page. Looks
Just
like a
dead
different
name,
person. No, I live named them.
We're gonna lose the stream
person.
now.
I committed a hate crime. Derek says, "Thank you for being my top guy, vintage." Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ben Shapiro lookalike contest. Sea Runner for 2 says, "Risky Krisky is back, gentlemen. He's back." I saw Risky Krisky did a video with Trench Grenade. I haven't watched it. I hope it's good. And yeah, Risky Krisky seems like the type of guy to come back and leave over and over and over again ad infinitum. So I don't know if he's back for good. I kind of doubt it, to be honest. Lightspore for 2 says, "Isn't that the guy Hop yelled at about optics?" This is actually, I have the clip somewhere around here. Where'd it go?
I don't
understand.
care.
Is-
No,
is
again, I don't fucking care, brother. Come on.
Okay,
I don't
great,
fucking
but-
care.
but
What's
I'll just
good
keep
about
going.
this optic?
He got very angry, very angry during that discussion. Now,
Slightly animated.
that was the first time we'd ever talked, but then Chessburger joined the Discord and we just hang out and chat, and he's very personable.
chilling
So it's
there.
like, yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know it was that. Man, I wonder if I would have reacted differently because I was looking at a phone screen, like on my
Oh
shit.
yeah. Versus like blown up, and you can see like the rage, the death in his eyes.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, he was not happy. Coppertone for 2 says, "Chessburger looks like he's gonna sell me cologne."
Abercrombie
only the-
Fierce.
Drakkar
There you go,
Noir.
kids.
Only the best for you, sir. Chud for 2 says, "Did you check your X tags?" Richard Gassy, X tags. If you're trying to get me to look at eggnog, I don't want to look at eggnog. Nope. No, thank you. The no nogger zone. Deer Hunter for $20 says, "Sorry, I haven't been able to hop on stream in a bit. Still can't stay, but I wanted to say hi and hope you guys have a good stream and evening. God bless." Well, God bless you too, Deer Hunter. I hope you're doing well. Hope you can enjoy the night off.
Probably living up to his name about now.
Yeah, I hope so. It's not freezing out there yet. Saddam Hussein Pog Enjoyer for 10 says, Major Taylor, am I saying that? Majorie Taylor Green?
Marjorie, yeah. Oh, that's big
Marjorie
news.
Taylor Green just resigned.
Majorly Taylor.
Majorly
That's
Taylor
majorly news.
Guns. Yeah. Say what you want about her, but she is more America first than a majority of Congress and the White House. Her video explaining everything is pretty based. Sad for Georgia. Well, actually, now that you mention that, I should probably just look that up real fast. I'm actually curious why.
You know, with that username, you do have to question the legitimacy because she may fall in that category.
Is this fake news? Is this real news? We're about to see.
Oh,
Well, let me see.
CrossFit mommy.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is his type of pog.
Hi, everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts, American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big.
So is she just saying like it sucks, I can't fix it, I'm leaving? Because I mean, this is a 10-minute long video as to why she's going. I mean, somebody who recognizes the problem leaving is kind of a bad sign, right? She's like, it's actually too broken to fix, guys. I'm gone. Like,
it seems to be more so she got forced out, especially with a lot of the pressure from people.
Well, it is
high
true.
up.
Yeah. Didn't she get called a traitor by Trump the other day for going against?
Yeah,
what
like
was
this
it?
week.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So big bummer. She was a little bit wacky, but everything she said just now wasn't too far off.
Well,
yeah,
I'll
I mean, good for her if she's.
I'll
yeah.
wacky off of instead of straight up evil. How about that?
Hey, I'll take that deal.
Yeah, I'll take that deal. Well, I'm sad to see one go, especially if you're a good one. Chud for 2 says, "Who's the brown guy on the stream? Which one? Actually, Dank or Marlin? Which one's darker? That's the
I don't
question.
know. Who's darker?
Actually, it's Richard. Richard is the darkest one on stream. That's always the answer.
None of you guys know Richard's actually very, very black.
What is this? Focus Trip's wife for 5 says, I don't know you, Trust, but in the nicest way, it looks like you motorboated the leftover. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Wow, murdered him. Anna, on your best behavior. Jeez. No, he just got a big bushy beard. DHC for 5 says, Chessbrigger, are you God's chosen like me or one of those roaches from Turkey? Damn, I can't tell since your nose is taking up most of the stream. Damn, roasted.
I'm Jewish, yes.
My Contro for 2 says, Chessbrigger looks like Akinator? I don't know who Akinator is. I don't get the reference. Take it as a compliment.
Stereotypical genie guy, I believe.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Like Aladdin genie? Like the blue guy?
I think so. I think it used to be. I don't know. I'd have to look.
No, I'm not Jewish, you freaks. There you go. Gosh, so I never believe that.
He said he's Jewish. Get him out of here.
Yeah, everybody's like, kill him with hammers. Hammer squad, kill him.
Gosh, can't make an Old Testament joke around here.
Chut for 2 says, tactical girlfriend in heat. Will Carl? Oh, I don't want to know. Will Carl or Sean get him first? Whoever wins, we lose. The Light Sport for 2 says, guys, we all know Jake is the former IDF. True, Jake is Israel's greatest defender.
Dude, on
is
Battlefield,
a real
he will remove a block.
He's got practice in for Gaza right now. He's
Women,
like, "Oh,
children, he does not care.
This reminds me of my greatest times out there. Yeah. Yeah, Taco Terror says, of course, he's an ortho bro.
Try not to be, but probably, yeah.
It should be a compliment. Brass and Beards for 2. They better let me swap in my old dangerous one. I'm talking about P320s. Yeah, maybe. Good luck with that. I'll give you $99 for that. Coppertone for 2 says, my unit was assigned 1 M17 and it was the commanding officers.
Status.
Yeah, status symbol right there.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've never thought of like a M17 or an M9 as like a status symbol, but if you have one, you're the cool kid on the block.
It's the fact that you don't have to carry a rifle. Like, you're the exception. So it's like when everyone else has to be under arms and you only have a pistol, you're the cool guy. Like, it's just some dickhead like thing that carries
So
on.
if you were able to sneak over like an appendix holster, could you just be rocking an appendix M17 while you're over there?
Like deployed?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You're
yeah.
in
I mean,
arms, yeah.
but I'm talking about in like stateside with like conventional troops. And overseas, dude, I Mexican carried appendix, all that stuff.
Mm.
At one point, I just said fuck it, and I had the Safariland paddle holster just because I was so lazy. I just didn't want to transition between belts, so I just
Shove that in your pants and it works, yeah.
and yeah.
Amrite Boy 5 says Trump just ended protected status for Somalis in Minnesota. Guess funding terrorists gets you kicked out. Amrite Boy, if you want to send me a link to that, because we're about to talk about Somalis in Minnesota funding terrorist organizations. So quite funny if you did. And I don't know what you mean by removed protections. Sabardic Psycho says the SIG retard ready. SIG RE3 retardy? Talking about the new GHS or GFS. Saddam Hussein Pogendoy for 2 says Tavor 7 whoops the Scar 17.
Well, I've got an AK right there.
Tavor 7. That's the one in 308, right?
545, 22, Red Rider.
Saddam Hussein for 5 says my Tavor doesn't go out of warranty for running a suppressor. I think FN does that to like CYA basically. I don't think they're actually gonna not honor the warranty, but they say it so that they have to deal with less problems, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because I've never heard of somebody actually like not getting a warranty claim fixed because they put a suppressor on it. They probably never don't mention it to FN that they
just
were
don't
suppressing
tell them. It doesn't.
But
Doesn't.
I think as long as it's not seized on there, and even then, like you wouldn't want to ship it with a camera.
yeah,
it's an
please
NFA
ship your
item.
NFA device. It's fine. It's fine. That's a whole nother crime right there. Sabardic Psycho for 10 says, I'm once again asking for a song playlist, John, or else you can enjoy the White Suburban Tickle Shed with Uncle Sean. Wow. That is that's a threat right there. Thank you, Sabardic Psycho. All right, over
He
on
says
Ko-Fi.
it happens all the time. That's funny.
Pod and Ammo 147 says, for your PCC build, if the intent of the build is training on an AR platform, is there a reason you opted for the Glock mag lower setup rather than sticking with an AR mag lower with whatever conversion AR mags? Maybe to granular, but is the mag difference negligible? So for me, training on an AR9 is simply because the ammo is cheaper, but you can practice reloads for free. Like reloading a rifle is free. Like you can dry fire that all day long. So that's not the important part of shooting to me anyways.
John, put up the dry fire announcement.
Right. I mean, it looks cool when you have like a 0.8 second reload on an AR, but you can just dry fire. So I don't think it's relevant to the training aspect of actually shooting. Pod Mamo for on Ko-Fi says, is a 14.5 Super Duty upper receiver for $850 a good deal? That's a great deal. Or should I wait till next Friday? If wait, what is specifically the best model barrel length, or should I just train more with my arrow? Well, you should always just train more, but $850 for a Geisley Super Duty upper is a very good deal. And 14.5 is a great barrel length. So whether it's 11.5, 12.5, 13.9, 14.5, 16 inch, they're all pretty good, you know? Just do whatever feels right to you, bro.
Anywhere between 11.5 and 20 is good.
Yeah, it's like all, you know, the meme is like 20-inch barrels and then everything else is a mental disorder. I actually think everything between 11.5 and 20 is good.
Yeah, I'm of the same volition.
And then if you're Colin Noir, you can stick a Scar 15P in your truck. Yeah, 8.5-inch 5.56 is a truck gun. Okay.
Dude, I emailed FN as Orc, as Oprod kids, and be like, hey, give me this. I want to test it. Nothing.
Respond. Caracolactica for 10 on Rumble. That's very generous. Sir says, does anyone believe Donnie anymore? Oh yeah. The Don's been taking some L's. He's had a little bit of a rough go of it. A rough go of it. So this is from GOA. So breaking in an ultimate betrayal of the Second Amendment, the Trump admin is defending the archaic National Firearms Act of 1934, supports gun registration under the Necessary and Proper and Commerce Clause, says the $0 NFA tax, which takes effect in 40 days exactly, is still a valid tax. That's the thing that I don't get at all.
I am
don't
not
know.
surprised.
I don't know how a $0 tax can even be counted as a tax. Like, I don't know how they justify that.
The transaction
Illegally
fee.
They're just keeping track
it's
of
zero.
you at that
It's $0.
point.
Yeah, it is literally just a registry because it's $0. They're losing money on it. There's no possible reason for it.
Yeah,
It
there's a
seems
rule in
stupid,
here
though.
that says-
Shalom, Wyoming.
Shalom. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of a total waste of funds, so it has been revealed that Somalians in Minnesota have been using fraudulent autism Medicare. Now, listen, I know there's a lot of you people in the audience that legitimately need autism Medicare. All right. A lot of you guys are undiagnosed. You're walking amongst us, you Tylenol Americans, you vaccine Americans, undiagnosed autism that deserve these Medicare funds. Unfortunately for you, they all went to Somalians in Minnesota. Now, they've been using these fraudulent autism Medicare claims, which I don't even know what that means. Like, do I just declare I have autism because I'm retarded, and then they give me X amount of money per month? Like, surely I can act retarded for whatever the money is per month, surely.
Act?
But they've been, act, quote unquote, totally an act, guys. Claims to fund the Somali terror group Al-Shabaab, with claims rising from 3 million in 2018. Okay, 3 million in 2018 to $399 million in 2023. So a 133x increase in 5 years.
It's good business.
Effectively making Minnesota taxpayers the group's largest funders. Much like with the HSS program, autism claims to Medicaid in Minnesota have skyrocketed in recent years, from 3 million in 2018 to 54 million in 2019, so on and so forth, all the way up to 399. It's like a exponential graph here. 399 million in 2023. Meanwhile, the number of autism providers in the state has spiked from 41 to 328. What is autism providers? Is that just
They just
places
hand
that
out
are
Tylenol.
they're just handing out Tylenols to pregnant women?
Yeah, by the fistful.
It's like you have a heart attack.
There's
gun,
not
you have
like
a
anything that
Tylenol
actually
gun.
goes on. It's like a
It's just scam. Nothing. It's just money
Yeah.
going to nothing. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
families that are like, hey, we'll go to this center. Our kid has symptoms of autism. And then the doctor's
Well, I
like,
mean-
hey, I'm getting rich this month. Here's your cut.
Well,
Isn't
yeah,
their
exactly.
average IQ like 68 though?
Well, so that's my question is, all right, if you have somebody that,
That's a
let's say,
misunderstanding. They're fucking smart, dude.
well, let's say that they are of average intelligence, but English is a second language and they don't get the culture, they don't get the norms. Like, how is a doctor supposed to distinguish whether or not they have autism or not?
In this case, I think it's just straight up like this is just a fucking more than a grift. It's just a deliberate scam. The Al-Shabaab thing, I think someone just probably threw that in there. I mean, they do send, so the way that like you get money into Somalia is various ways, but terrorist or Islamic terrorist fund, if people in the chat don't know, the way that they fund each other is through a network called Hawala. And it's not like a formal network, but it's kind of like what Knights Armament like guys do when they like buy and trade shit, where it's like, hey, I'm selling this SR-25, and when that money clears, that money is going to appear for this dude, and then I'm going to get this gun or this part or this whatever, right? So they do that. That's the traditional way of like funding each other, because a lot as big as our military is, there's also a giant like counter finance operation mix between like federal agencies and military and whatnot. But you know, having been there, I was there for 6 months, waking up there most of the time. They don't have that no one's showing that kind of wealth, so that money's not appearing. There's no way 399 million is appearing in Somalia. But the other thing is they send money through like weird wire transfers, or like they don't really have money anymore. Like they do have like, there is Somali money, but they pay each other with like cell phone credits for like minutes on their, like you use that, like It's like a card.
That's
you
the
activate.
currency. That's the,
Yeah.
the state-backed cell phone minutes.
Well, it's there's not really
This
a
sounds
state
like-
to count
I
on.
know.
It's
Well,
sounds
so
like
it's-
prison
it's a-
currency.
it's
I'm gonna
a
trade you
barter
some
economy.
mackerel.
It's a prison economy. It's a barter economy, right?
Well, at least, like I would go to this one cafe, and that's how I would pay them was through it's called Hormud is the network, and I would, like you have to like dial like because it's a keypad phone.
So a coffee's what, 5 minutes?
Dude, it's stupid cheap. It's kind of sad. But yeah, it's weird. But yeah, with this fucking thing, they're smart, and the thing is like we all look like. People need to look at Somalis and actually be like, hey, maybe we should start doing that, because what they're doing is like in Minnesota, they find all the clubs, strip clubs, and they kick them out and they turn them into mosques and other shit and whatever other like community stuff. Like they do what we want to do for Christianity.
Well, about that, you are right, because they are forceful in their beliefs, right? They actually have a desire to take over and to control things. Whereas in the West, you have decadence, you have tolerance, you allow these people to do, you allow this degeneracy. Whereas these people, they want to come in and essentially recreate their home country, but here, right?
Why wouldn't they want to?
Well, I think.
And you
Dude,
can
there's
see that they
can
profit. They can massive amounts
Don't
of
be
money
mad at
just
your enemy
taking
for being your
advantage.
enemy. Of
well,
course
they
they're
can
going to
take
do this.
advantage of the system, right? Because it says, so culturally appropriate program. By the time the fraud scheme was exposed, 1 in 16 Somali 4-year-olds in the state had been reportedly diagnosed with autism, a rate more than triple the state average. So I don't know, who's thought of this? Like, what person was the brains behind this that said, if we just
It
claim
worked
that our
for
kids
one
have
person, and then it just spread.
Probably a Democrat, because that's the weird relationship that they have with Democrats, is that the Democrats use them for votes and political stuff, but ideologically they are so incompatible, because there is no one more dangerous to a fucking transgender or whatever than a fucking Somali.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the funny part, is that they're useful tools for now, but long term, these two belief systems are incompatible, right? If you Islamize the West, you're not going to get this tolerant, diverse republic that you believe in. You're going to get something far, far different than that.
You're going to get Brazil.
Las Aris says Chesterfield looks like he's going to charge me 29% APR on a credit card.
It's a great deal.
20 sweet deal. Oh my gosh. 29%.
Oy
Think
vey.
about all that interest.
But the payments are easy.
What is the population of Somalis in Minnesota right now? I need to look this up.
Too much.
Yeah, that's like their big landing zone, and then they're big in Canada too.
Mm-hmm.
And someone was asking them, because while that movie was coming, that's when they all started seeking refuge. I mean, they have a very unfortunate history, because they are very smart. So whoever thinks they're dumb, you're a fucking idiot, because these dudes between evening and morning prayer will fucking go like 5 clicks in bare feet and kill you. So don't ever underestimate them. But
I just think as a nation we need to invest in catapults and
maybe I'm just unaware, but why are they here? Do they have some sort of protected status as refugees? Right, that's how they're brought in.
Yeah,
Okay.
asylum.
their country sucks, so we're going to import all of them to us.
I'm still confused at the numbers, though, because it says there's only 170,000 Somalis in Minnesota. So let's say like 10,000 of them get diagnosed with autism or whatnot. How do you get, oh, sorry, wrong tab. How do you get 399 million from 10,000 people?
Because once it's a government funded thing, it's just, they don't bat an eye. They don't think like, oh, dude, someone's scamming the autism. Fucking.
I mean, you would think, right? It's like, hey, over 5 years, we've noticed that you've been spending 133x on this autism Medicare, and it's mainly due to an increase in a Somali population. It's like, surely, well, of course, it's our government, so they probably wouldn't look into that sort of thing. But a normal person would think, hey, I think something is up over here, good sir.
Well, that's how I imagine this is how they did it, was kind of use like a cultural shield of like, hey, like we need our own, because you guys do weird shit. Because I don't think anyone in Minnesota would want to, or any normal person would want, to send their children with special needs to like some Democrat funded thing. So it is ostensibly, it's not a bad idea to be like, hey, we want our own way to like help these kids. But yeah, it quickly becomes, or maybe originally it was just a scam.
Yeah, and especially since if it's a blue state and these people are like Democrat voters, essentially, right? It's their voting block for the most part.
100%.
So
We need
like, why
Doge
would you?
too, but more
why?
so.
Why would you expose them? Why would you? Because if you're the governor, right, Tim Walz in Minnesota, and you're like, oh, we got to crack down on my own voting block as he's running for a third term, right?
You never
So
go after
so
your
I
own
live
guys.
I live over here in South Dakota, so I'm a little bit outside of Sioux Falls, but Sioux Falls is like where they've begun to infect a little bit because it's the only big town in South Dakota, and it's about 4 hours away from Minneapolis. So you see, like, because I used to be an Amazon delivery driver, so I would deliver to all this like Section 8 housing and all of this sort of stuff, and they would have like their own blocks.
Yeah.
Where it's like you go into these housing places or these apartment complexes, which are terrible, by the way, horrifying to go inside of. Not just the trash, the smell, the dogs, kids running around. Like, I was like, this is like not a safe environment. And this is in like Sioux Falls, like a relatively nice town, but then there's just these blocks and it's like all immigrants. Nobody
The sad
speaks
part
English.
is they don't know any better, because a lot of those, at this point, a lot of them grew up in refugee camps that are literally shanty towns of trash. Like anything they could put over their heads, twigs, Chinese tarps, Chinese.
Well, I mean,
tent,
to
like-
them, it might as well be a 5-star hotel, right?
Yeah, it is.
But it's like
for
you
them.
go from
Yeah.
like picturesque like suburbia, and it's like, $500,000 houses, $1 million houses, beautiful hillside, all this sort of stuff, and then it's like an apartment complex at the bottom, and it's like, oh, this is scary now.
Yeah.
Polar opposite of what it just was. And they form their own communities. They're very insular. Like when you look at a racial dot map of the city, it's like you can see exactly where they go basically,
Yep. It's
and then
deep,
they'll
man.
start branching out from there. So
Glad I'm back there now.
Well, but I mean that's kind of the future that you're looking at. If
Well,
they
hopefully
could-
this gets like attention of, hey, like national security was just compromised over a freaking Democrat program that was completely, just major.
When has it not been?
Yeah, good point.
Well, I don't think unless it's federally, if there's some sort of federal crackdown on it, because again, if Tim Walz is in power, there's no motivation to go after your own team. It's just friendly fire at that point.
Well, I imagine they like at least the feds watch the money move. Because there's no way that the federal government does not watch money going into Somalia and pay attention who's on the receiving end and shit like that. Because all that money has to appear somewhere. So that, I think, probably what the gentleman said earlier about like whatever political party. So the previous administration obviously encouraged that kind of shit, even though, ironically enough, I can attest to this, Joe Biden killed a lot of fucking Somalis.
Well, but that's kind of the plan, right? Is to destabilize a region. You create a whole group of people that hate you, but then you bring them over here, and then they become a voting bloc. They destabilize the natural-born population. They create their own environment here. Like, it's a tool of destabilization, basically.
Yeah, but
I mean, you think
people
it
are
would be
bringing
like,
this up.
think about this. Like, if you fought a war, let's say in Vietnam, and you killed a bunch of them, and then you just like the year after the war ended, you're like, all right, we're going to bring in 150,000 Viet Cong a year. You'd be like, why would you? Or like North Korean after the Korean War, you'd be like, why would you do that again? Like, that sounds like a horrible idea.
We don't even
A
have
horrible
to do
idea.
hypotheticals. We could just look at Venezuela. And it's like, that's what happened. We destabilized their country and then we accepted them all here.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Somalis though is a lot because people are bringing up Black Hawk Down, kind of forgetting that we're still there, and nothing like stopped there. So when they had a huge banana industry, like they were a prosperous country for the most part, and then I think they're called the Islamic Courts Union that later became Al Shabaab. Might be a little rough here because I haven't thought about these guys in a minute. But that's when people started packing up because the clan violence picked up, the political violence. These guys were a lot more serious with Islam. So, they had like a really cool music scene. They have like an interesting set. They're a very interesting culture. Like, don't sleep on Somalis. Very interesting to study. But
I think all of that is well and good, but I don't see the advantage of spending our own taxpayer money bringing them here as refugees when we spent the last 20 years messing with them, basically, right? Like, for instance, if let's say China invaded and took over the western half of the U.S. or the eastern half of the U.S., and then they were like, oh, by the way, here's 100,000 a year of Americans that we're bringing into China. If I was an American living in China after they had been like killing us and took over part of our places or had military base, like I would be like, how do I destabilize these people? I don't want to live like these people. I don't like these people, right? So I'm like, as if I put myself into their shoes as a Somalian, why would I be interested in assimilating in American culture when we have diametrically opposed values in a lot of ways?
Yeah, no,
I bring your own culture.
I totally understand that. And I think the problem is that we're there in the first place, because people may not like me saying this, but like, if you have a huge population of refugees that are living in like shit conditions and they're getting sick or they're going to get recruited into Al-Shabaab, they're just a huge problem when they're where you do shooting and bombing. So I could understand was like, hey, let's take some of these guys and displace them. And America is not the only one that takes them in. They're all over the world. That's how big of a problem it became.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So now we're taking Somalis out of Somalia and putting them all over the world in all sorts of different cultures, which doesn't make any sense to me either. Like, wouldn't
as messed up as the situation
the appropriate thing to do just stop messing with them in the first place?
Yeah, I think we need to make that like decision. Like, are we actually should we colonize this place or should we just leave it alone?
Exactly, right. Because it seems like you want the best of both worlds. You can't colonize it, you can't hold it, but you're going to enforce your will over there and then still accept them into your home country, which just makes them hate you. I mean, even if they didn't have any sort of like animosity towards us, they're just different cultures that don't mix well. Right?
No, definitely not in Minnesota. Culture. Like Texas, maybe they would fit right in.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's complicated too. Yeah, because America has a wide variety of cultures in different areas, and we all call ourselves "quote unquote" American. Right?
If I was America and I was bringing these people in, I would find like all the cowboy territories and be like, "All right, go fucking raise some camels and cattle and stuff," because that's what they do. That's like their thing. At least I was in southern Somalia, so that's what I saw. Like a lot of Somali cowboys. So they like doing that shit, and they don't bother anybody when they're out there. Oh, I hate this guy's so mad.
Well, but my question is, if they're like the peaceful herders in Somalia, why not just leave them in Somalia? Like, I don't get what is the benefit to the American citizen, to the average American person, for bringing them over here, like in general.
I mean, we don't really benefit at all. It's just we're there. That's the problem. I think people don't understand is we're doing things there. So as long as it's a muddy like playing field, then it is what it is. But I think if we just never showed up, the other thing is that other countries, we're not the only ones who like. I think the Italians pay like all the government salaries or a lot of them. So like other countries pay a lot of money into Somalia, and like Turkey has a lot of Turkey. They put a lot of money in like infrastructure, same with China. So we actually we really stay on the military side, but a lot of like the development and shit like that is Turkey, UAE.
So maybe I'm confused, but why do we care about Somalia? Like, what is their purpose in the world stage that they require intervention? Is it because of like terrorist exports and we want to limit their influence in the region, or what's their geopolitical significance?
The answer changes every year, but right now, like the kind of thing is, we need to kind of at least like during the Biden administration, I'm not tied in anymore. The Biden administration was looking at Africa and being like, okay, China is a big influence here and we need to combat them or whatever, counter that influence. So that's why we spend so much money in these fucking countries that we're not getting anything out of, really. And
if you told me, oh, hey, we gotta this one right here, we need to make sure that these guys are well taken care of. It's like,
Why?
But so you see how big, like people don't understand that country is fucking huge.
Mhm.
And so Kenya, the other thing too is that Kenya has its own kind of issues. So when Kenya gets overloaded with carrying the weight of like Somalia, because a lot of these countries, I mean, even as far as West Africa, they send troops to fight in Somalia or do like peacekeeping and shit like that. But that strains their resources, and they're already barely getting off their feet. So it expands, like the problem expands. So it's just such a shit show. I don't think we should have ever been involved, sadly, because again, it's like that is just a huge territory that you have to either take it over and plant your flag, or just, hey, that sucks. Some people might say now, like, okay, if you're training, or sorry, if you just let that problem continue, it's going to become like a caliphate, and that would be a bad problem.
Well, but I mean, I'm just like logistically, if Somalia became a powerhouse in the region, that might be a problem for these neighboring countries. But again,
no,
I don't know.
The canal there, like between Yemen and Djibouti, that's big
Important
terrain.
shipping lanes.
Oh, okay, right. So
like-
so it does have some like Mediterranean, like shipping in the Mediterranean, basically, right? Is that what it's referring to?
Yeah, because there's a lot of trade that goes on there, and then the other thing is that's eventually they're going to have ports that are functioning more than they are right now. And if Somalia becomes like a logistics hub for the third world that counters what we're trying to do out there or develop in things like if China had a bunch of ports in Somalia, and that's what they're trying to do, because they I think they have one in Kenya, they have one in Djibouti.
Wait, so is it
So-
basically we're trying to keep Somalia out of the hands of the Chinese, so we keep?
Oh, I should have
messing
led
about
with
in it?
this. This is a giant game of Somali StarCraft where it starts with dudes in Minnesota claiming autism and getting paid, texting money over to their cousins, and then just all kinds of fucking players, more than just us. Like, it's the biggest mistake to look at Somalia and ourselves is to think that it's only those people in the conversation. It is a lot deeper than people think, and is a lot wider. It's just most people only know Black Hawk Down.
Right.
I just don't think they should be here. I don't really care about what the situation is going on over there. As long as they're not over
Yeah.
here, we might have to do politics
Well,
over
so
there.
you know what's
I don't
what's
care.
fun, what's silly to me is, so let's say that we do, like, we're mucking about in it to make sure that the East doesn't get control of it. Logistically speaking, though, if we just sent them the same amount of money to hold Somali people in, let's say, Kenya or any of their neighboring countries, rather than bringing them here, like, why wouldn't we just send money to these people? Because
We tried that. There was
it's
a
going to
war
be inefficient
between
and wasted,
Ethiopia
but
and
it's
Somalia.
it's inefficient and wasted here. So why not just have it inefficient and wasted halfway across the world, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's such a shit show. And what's funny is, like, that map you have there, Hargeisa is not its own, depending on who you ask, it's not its own country. And then, you got Somaliland and you got Puntland. Puntland, I think, is the northeast corner. So it's like even on this, like, Google, I just use Google Maps, like, it doesn't even reflect on what people think the area is.
Right,
so
what the actual people are.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of action, and depending on where you are, so like southern Somalia, the border with Kenya. So someone was asking, who's your favorite African warlord? I don't have a favorite. That'd be weird. But the president of southern Somalia was a militia dude. He was in a, like, Al-Shabaab kind of associated militia. Al-Shabaab means the boys. Actually a cool name. But he was part of, like, some river militia. So they would cross over the river and, like, fuck dudes up in Kenya. And then during, like, I think like a 2012 conflict, he turned sides or just became good. But he's like the president of all southern Somalia, and he's been butting heads with the federal government. So it's like, we back people that are fighting each other. Like, the Somali soldiers died over that dispute very recently. So
Very
And,
nice.
yeah,
It's always fun to learn about this stuff, and it's just it all seems like nonsense, right?
Oh,
It
that's
seems
the
like
other
people-
thing. Like, dude, so many people fucking die there from, believe it or not, like, drowning because of floods. Like, people think it's only, like, they do have horrible famine, but they also get flooded in their areas.
the worst
And,
of
like,
both worlds.
instead of just building some, like, fucking raised metal structure that they can just, I don't know, survive. It's like, that's the thing is, it's destabilized, and we don't make a serious attempt over there to help them reconstruct. And yeah.
I mean, I do feel for their plight, obviously, but I feel like the American taxpayer, the
feel for
American
them.
citizen,
If they're over there.
yeah, I feel like it just adds more problems. And obviously, as we're seeing, $399 million disappeared to autism scams, which is kind of like, it's you talk about like, okay, we have warlords here and they're fighting this government and then they hate their neighbors and then we've been messing there for 30 years. And then somehow like the domino effect is like 30 years later, you have Somali autism scams in Minnesota for $400 million, right? It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Something quite wacky is going on here.
And they're screwing themselves by having Ilhan Omar as the fucking, like, what people think of the Somali community.
Well,
like,
I wanted to bring this up too. So President Trump announced that he is terminating temporary protected status for all Somalis in Minnesota. Ilhan Omar is going to lose her shit over this. So he says Minnesota, under Governor Walz, is a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. I am, as President of the United States, hereby terminating, effective immediately, the temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota. Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state, and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back, to where they came from. It's over. President Donald J. Trump, thank you for your attention in this matter.
Yeah, I have thoughts about that because I had a conversation with a guy that he was a civilian guy, but I had to correspond with him while I was out there. And he would be like, and mind you, I would be talking to him after like something happened, right? So people died. And I'd be talking to him and he'd be like, oh no, we're at peace now. This is so great. And why do you have guns in America? I'm like, dude, get your fuck, like in my head, I'm like, why the fuck don't you have a rifle? Because like 10 kilometers north of us, like dudes just fucking got into it. Like, so I think the whole, like what you guys were saying, like, why do we bring them over? I feel like we should bring maybe women, children, get them out of there. But if you're like male and this is your country, you should be fighting. That's my take on it, is like, there's no.
I don't think you should bring any of them over. Honestly.
Well, so
I don't care about other countries on the whole.
Well, I think you would fight better if you knew that your like wife and kids weren't in like a,
or
like,
being held hostage in America.
Yeah, we'll bring them over here and we'll hold them hostage. If they don't do good enough, we'll throw them into the ocean.
To your point, like, should you want to even bring somebody over who gave up on his own country, essentially, who wasn't willing to fight for his own country, right?
Yeah. And what's crazy is a lot of the people that are like, because someone mentioned Danab, there's Danab soldiers that are deportees. So there's a dude I worked with who spoke great English because he was a gangster in Minnesota. He actually showed up to a clinic in Somalia with gunshot wounds from Minnesota that were not properly like taken care of. I'm not going to post my DD214, but if you know how to find me, we could talk about that later.
So this is what I was going to pull up. I remembered this story from a couple weeks ago. So there's emerging consensus on Somali TikTok and Twitter that inter-clan conflict known as Qabil sunk Omar Fateh's mayoral campaign in Minneapolis. A significant number of Somalis apparently voted against him due to his Somali clan. So the gentleman on the left here, named Omar Fatah, was the wrong type of Somali. So the Somalis that were in Minneapolis didn't vote for him because he was the wrong type of Somali, which is quite funny. We have Somalian interpersonal conflicts in American politics. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
scary, man, because they will wipe out another clan if given, like, if they find out. Yeah, it's bad.
See, you keep saying these things and like, oh, we should try and bring them over here, and I'm like, I just
no, I'm not saying we should try. I don't like.
Kind of sounds like it, man. It kind of sounds like
that's what
we should
every
bring
time
them
you say
over
something,
here.
I'm like, I don't know, man. These people maybe they're just not fully compatible with Western
or just
values.
spread
This
them
might
out. You can't have
this
them
might
like
be a little bit
congregate.
offensive, but hey, I think Africans should stay in Africa, guys. I don't think they should be over here on the whole.
Well, yeah, I mean that goes for anything. Like, you don't want a bunch of I don't know people from China, like you can have a Chinese friend, but you don't want a whole Chinese community popping up next door. Right?
But it's like
I want
it's like anything.
Africans in
It's
Africa,
like
and I want women off the road.
I live in America. I want to be surrounded by Americans, right? It's the same thing if I go to some place like Iceland. Like I want it to be Iceland. If I want to go to Japan, I want it to be Japanese, right?
Yeah.
It's a very similar thing. So I don't know. I just feel like this stuff is only bad. It usually only destabilizes the home country. But to have a little bit of good news before we end the show, Northern Indiana County passes Second Amendment sanctuary resolution because Republicans are usually a few years behind Democrats in terms of pulling wacky shenanigans. So for a while, you had the sanctuary cities where they wouldn't cooperate with ICE or law enforcement for deportations. And then, of course, a few years later down the road, Republicans were like, well, we could do that too, but for the Second Amendment, quote unquote. Now, that being said, though, they will still absolutely screw you over. But I just find it funny when I see these headlines.
This topic brought back up after it failed to gain support a few years ago. Marshall County resident Don Nunemaker presenting the proposal to the commissioners.
Well, the reason is there's a number of other counties and states that are doing the same thing, and it's just to protect the gun owner.
Nunemaker believes many of the gun laws being passed federally infringe on gun rights.
Oop. Careful there, YouTube.
There's been an awful lot of laws passed, like 20,000 laws within the United States, and every one of them is a type of infringement, regardless what they try to do.
Based boomer John Deere Corps.
Designation means Marshall County officials
It's I gotta make it. I'll make it small.
will not enforce any gun laws passed at the state or federal level they believe to be unconstitutional. County Commissioner Jesse Bohannon saying policies like a
Okay, there we go.
Second Amendment sanctuary demonstrate local authorities' willingness to be the last line of defense for constitutional rights, regardless of what a federal administration may choose to do.
Now, last week or Wednesday, we talked about how the FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police in America, essentially said that, hey, we don't want constitutional carry or concealed carry reciprocity in the United States because it would make it more difficult for us to disarm people at will. I wonder how they feel about stuff like this, where you have entire counties saying that, hey, we won't necessarily enforce certain federal laws, or we won't assist in the arrest, detainment of these guys who are quote unquote violating federal statutes.
The Marshall County Sheriff also signed off on the resolution, the commission modeling it based on neighboring counties who already have Second Amendment sanctuaries in place, including Kosciuszko County.
That it just reaffirms the Second Amendment. We're not changing any laws. We're not allowing people that shouldn't have guns to have guns. That's not what we're doing here. It's just more so to reassure the law-abiding citizens that your Second Amendment rights will be protected in Marshall County.
What do you call that haircut, dude?
That's a bowl cut, dude.
It's not
interesting.
straight though. It's like he made bad bangs because it's uneven, dude.
I call that the Ringo Lingo.
Well, they probably don't have. He's probably like me, has a big head. They don't make a bowl big enough.
Yeah, you gotta get the popcorn bucket.
In Marshall County.
I asked Commissioner Klotz, what do you hope citizens gain from this resolution?
Well, I think the biggest thing we want the public to know is, push comes to shove, we have your back, and I guess that's pretty simple, but that's about what it boils down to.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, thanks for that. A little bit of good news. You have based boomers in northern Indiana saying, we're gonna not assist the federal agents in screwing you over. There won't be a Ruby Ridge here. Maybe
We're gonna do
Hopefully
what we
not.
want. Yeah.
That warms my heart.
Yeah,
But
but you know,
Democrats
we
are gonna
say
do what
that-
they want to you. Do what you want back to them.
My thing with this is like we need to go after the criminals. So like, are they going to selectively enforce? Because if you pull over an Altima and he's got some fucking bullshit gun in there, like, are you going to be like, I respect your Second Amendment, even though it looks like you're about to go and
You
shoot up a
use
neighborhood?
Discretion, okay?
Okay,
discretion is still up to the cops.
fair enough.
No, what was I gonna say? Well, see, if you're pulling over an Altima driver, he's already drunk driving, he's already possession of drugs, so you're gonna arrest him for various other things.
Oh,
And
they
he's
got
gone.
him. They got him.
No,
So I think he's got a hotkey that just removes him, but it could also just be him being retarded.
Yeah, it was that one. Gosh dang it, I hate that, dude. It's right there on the side of my mouse, and
Richard
it's
was
so
about
sensitive.
to come on camera and take leadership.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. His hotkey yeets him. My hotkey turns my camera on.
Oh.
Yeah, careful with that. Don't dox yourself, Richard. They're going to be blinded by the light of the ultimate shud.
Yes.
Red Diacon over on Ko-Fi says, Chestrigger, tell me about that Accurized G3.
It's not Accurized, but it's just a G3 with a 10 power, fixed 10 power.
Which fixed 10 power?
Do you guys know about SWFA?
I keep getting recommended them. They're fixed 10 power stuff, right? Because they're not that expensive and they're supposedly like pretty decent.
Yeah, dude, the glass is wow. I had it off of a gun for a while just to like, because I have a really nice view from my house now because I moved. And dude, it is. I don't know if people sleep on them. I got this in a trade or something. That's how I got the fixed 10 power. I normally wouldn't spring for a fixed 10 power. So that's all that's been changed to that gun. That's a G3 front end that was rebuilt into I mean, I'm not going to bore everyone, but that's a real G3 barrel. And
okay, cool. Well, I mean, he asked about it, so he's interested in it. No, they make a 3 to 15 for 740. It looks like they make a few different models, but yeah, they're fixed 10x. You can find relatively cheap. So for a good glass, it's not terrible.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. And I mean, it's got some class being a G3 and all that, you know.
Dude, it is. I got to shoot a PSG-1 last weekend, and that felt good. That is a very different sensation than the fucking G3.
Wait, you actually got to shoot a PSG?
Yeah, there's a gentleman, a very cool dude, who had like a very nice HK collection he brought, and the PSG-1, he was zeroing it, and he let me on it. I was like, oh, dude, this is fucking cool.
Oh, yeah, you have to take that. I'm just curious. Let me see what a PSG-1 goes for right now.
I think around 30, like roughly.
I was going to say they are not cheap, dude. I'm surprised that you got to shoot one. So,
and his had the
there's
fixed,
one on
6 power.
Okay, there's one on auction for 20K right now. I'm trying to find any. That one's sold, of course it is. Very rare rifle. Let me see. Yeah, no, they're not cheap. That's why I was very curious about that. Because the one video that I saw on one, I think 50K. Are you kidding me?
Oh man,
it's in stock right now at a certain website, and it is $49,950 with
what
the
does that
fixed
website
6
rhyme
power.
with?
Uns.com.
Oh, okay.
Uns.com. I mean, it looks gorgeous with the fixed 6X on top, of course. 50K. That's why the one video I watched, what's his name? X-Ring do, and he was like, the owner didn't allow me to shoot it. Oh, he was just like basically talking about it, which is why I'm very surprised that you actually got to shoot one, because these things are extremely rare. Very cool though. Very cool. So that's
neat.
What's good about this optic? Oh shit, I'm bad at answering that. Wow.
Yeah. It looks cool, okay?
Looks cool. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Don't bully him because the PSG looks cool, all right? All right? It's a vibe. You wouldn't
His
get
is
it.
exactly like that. Like all the original accessories. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
that,
but it's
right
really hard
now-
to get a bag under because of that grip.
Oh, what is like? You think that would be the purpose of the grip? You need like a micro bag to get under that, like a 1-inch bag or something. A little hacky sack.
A hacky sack would probably be good for that one, and it's heavy.
Oh yeah, 50K though. It's cool, but I don't know if it's 50K cool. All right.
I could buy a lot of other cool stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that could be had for 50K. Like paying off my debt. Although maybe paying off your debt's not such a great idea if the economy's about to crash.
Nope. Start debt maxing, folks.
Yeah, based debt maxers. Don't buy a house though. Wait for the crash. Bulge Deep for 5 says, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. Yeah, he's been on fire tonight. He's very happy with Chestrigger's appearance. Heath from Texas for 2 says, what's Chestrigger's thoughts on the new 5.16?
Yeah, I think we answered that one. I mean, it's just, it doesn't, like I said, they need to pull an FN and bring the old one back and then use a focused video on it to be like, hey, this is all the marketing behind it.
Yeah.
And it would sell.
Well, I don't know if they're going to talk to me anymore. I don't think they're particularly happy with me. Last year,
but we
SHOT
found out
Show-
there's a department that designs the front end of the gun and then a department
Yeah, it's special looking. Okay,
Just
it's
looks
special
like-
looking.
It just looks like a mullet of a gun. It's
Well, it was called the Mohawk for a minute. The first name that they quote unquote teased it with was the G3 Mohawk because of that suspicious hump in the middle there.
It just looks weird.
It's a little strange. Art Vandal 2 says building a scarcity mindset. I see what you did there. Indeed. Well, hey,
someone in chat, do they know what a SCAR is going for right now? Like a SCAR 17?
They're 35.
Like used though, or is there anyone paying like stupid amounts?
Let me check. Since I'm on
find a
that
stupid
website.
person.
Well, yeah. You can find somebody. 37, 42, 45, 43, 45, 5, 6.
Oh.
3.5, 5 used. Are you kidding me? It has the nice rail on it, but 5 used. So prices aren't going down. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Prices aren't going down right now. It's the cheapest one I saw was 33.50 for a used one. So I got some money in there for sure. And I have one right here. If anyone would like to give me $6,000 for it. Low price of $599. I'll split it with Andrew because it's not even mine, but I have it. Coppertone says Chestrigger told me not to redeem. No, he's not Indian. He's of what do they call it? They call it ambiguous ethnic descent.
Dude, we are both Semitic.
Don't lump me in there, bro. Everybody does this to me. They're like, "You're Jewish." I'm like, "I'm not Jewish."
No, but that's the thing. That's the biggest scam ever. Like you look at that statute in Florida about anti-Semitism, it doesn't mention all the other ethnic groups.
That's not. That's just stupid. It's like, what do you mean Semitic? They mean Jewish. That's what they mean.
Oh, by Semitic they mean any Middle Eastern.
So.
Saddam Hussein, Pog and Joy for 2 says, my 240B I used for years is my favorite FN product. Thank you, Saddam Hussein. I'm glad you had a good time with our service weapons.
FN 240s, fuck.
Todd and Dogs for 2. Well, he got sized by a bayonet, so he would know. Todd and Dogs for 2 says, MGT, thank you for your service and turning on MAGA fags. Oh, talking about, Major League Taylor Green. Yeah, Green Taylor. Whatever her name is. Thank you for that, Todd Dogs. Josh for 5 says, I heard Chestrigger got destroyed off of Listerine during a salsa night at Camp Blue Ring.
Oh, that is funny.
All right. Thank you, Josh.
That is good.
HL Man, it's Hilter. I read that wrong. It's Hilter Lover for 2 says, we love brown people like Chestrigger. Aw, thank you, Hilter Lover. The Light Sport for 2 says Mr. Noir can't spin an apple in his head. Have you heard of that? So Chestrigger. All right, here's the thing. So how would you feel if you didn't have breakfast today?
Oh God, don't do that, dude. I thought you were gonna ask me that. I don't know the fucking answer.
Well, no, just how would you feel if you didn't have breakfast this morning?
Hungry.
There it is.
Hey.
That's the correct answer. So the problem is a lot of people, they just default to, but I did have breakfast today. It's like, well, right, but it's a hypothetical. So how would you feel, right? So it's the same thing. Like, can you picture an apple in your mind and then rotate it? Like make it do flips and stuff? Oh. Yeah. Okay, well, because we have a member, Logan Sucks at Shooting, he might be in the chat right now, who has no pictographic imagination.
Oh, he's one of those guys?
Yeah, so there's like nothing, like gray space.
Well, they also took an ice pick to his brain.
They did do that, yes. Yeah.
He got a lobotomy. So.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to tie back in Somali. A lot of Somalis have that. They don't know how to imagine. So when you tell them, like, you're instructing them,
you're
to do
not
shit,
making
you're
a
like,
good case for them.
No. This is not pro or for. It's just a funny thing that I'd never encountered where I'm like, hey, imagine like this is in front of you. And they'd be like,
it may not be pro or for, but I think it might be anti and con.
Yeah, this is
look at me, man. No shit, they don't.
Chestrigger's Somalis over here be like,
what's an apple? Huge ass. Remember, 2 months says Call Noir buys based on mouthfeel. Wow. No, I am surprised that FN, serious tactical military firearms, FN was like, you're on our marketing team. It's like, okay, I mean, I feel like there were better examples for that, but
my understanding, you get like, if you are like him, you get like $15,000 read. Like you just read something. Like you don't even have to be really about the product.
Oh yeah,
So
no,
shoot
the
three
like,
boxes of
I've
ammo
heard
and you make a bunch of money.
I've heard $15,000 is like 15 to 40K can be like a standard ad read for some of these guys, and it's insane money. And I mean, if you're in that position, I guess why not? If you don't have any morals, yeah, I'll show something for 15K, right?
Yeah, right.
You know what FN could make? Actually, this is funny. Ben put this up on how do I find this? Am I retarded? I might be slightly retarded. All right. So Ben put this up on Instagram today. FN said, or on X, what's the new product that you want to see us drop? And then Ben just ratios them with a good handgun. Please.
Until you admit I'm better logic.
And then I just quoted it. Their social media rep right now after seeing Ben ratio them.
No.
Don Dogs for 2 says, if Major Green Taylor runs for president in 28, it'll still be too late and gay. 2028 will be interesting. I'm kind of excited. I think we'll get a bit of a shakeup. It's been a bit of a stagnant market. We've had a bit of a Trump slump 2.0 in terms of the firearms industry. So we need something to shake things up. Saddam Hussein, Pog and Dwarf for 2 says, the AR-15 is literally internal piston.
According to the patent.
Yeah, internal. It's internal versus external. It's like Small Arms Solution always calls it. No, it is a piston gun. It's an internal piston. It's not direct impingement because it has a piston inside of the bolt carrier group. It's like, all right. We know what you mean when you say DI. Totten Docs for 2 says, at least she stood up to Globo Homo Donald Drumpf. Yeah, Donald Trump been taking some L's lately. Not his base is not particularly happy with him.
Also taking some D's.
Hey, but is this actually
allegedly
count as like going up against him? I feel like that's a surrender, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's the weird part, is essentially saying, okay, guys, our Congress sucks and they hate you and I'm leaving. It's like,
I give
thanks.
up.
That's like your dad saying, you know what, your mom's crazy and I'll be out getting cigarettes. It's like, what? Why are you leaving us? Focus from Swipe for 5 says, I have the same dream as you, Mike Mahalski. I too dream to put people in debt for silly things. All right, Anna. That's why you don't have a credit card. That's why you're locked in the basement. Bulge Deep for 5 says, is Trust one of those, we read this one earlier, one of those surprise pilots on 9/11? No, he was on the flight logs. The Epstein flight logs, no. Searunner, 1277. Yeah, Chesterger voted against the release of. He was the one Republican holdout to release the Epstein files.
Do not release those.
Do not redeem. Do not
National
release.
security.
Yeah. Well,
Guys,
I like how it's funny.
fake.
They're like, hey guys, we're gonna release them. We're gonna redact some of the names though to protect national security interests. Like, isn't that just a self-indictment? You're saying
That is the most British thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all on the list, and we're just going to hold some of the names back to not violate national security interests. It's like, all right.
That's kind of why we want those names released.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, actually, sir, that's why we want the names. Searunner for 2 said, I'm a ADM 11.5 with RC2 basic bit, and I love it. Yeah, no, keeping it real with the ADM 11.5. And RC2s, for all their flack, they're still good cans. Madden Williams for 2 says SDI, more like STI.
No, I think SEAL Team 1. You put ST1.
Well, I don't know if he was trying to get away from YouTube censorship, because I don't know. Sometimes you have to spell things funny to get around YouTube censorship. So I don't know if he means SEAL Team 1, or that's possible. Obviously, that's where your mind went. So maybe he did mean that. I don't know, Madden. Also, Madden, your VTAL 100. Man, that thing sucks. It is so funny. It is such a wacky laser unit. Marlon, have you ever seen one of these? I'm going to look it up now.
I would like to see it. I would also like to pose a question to the panel. Would it be cool to own a freaking, Sons of Liberty Gunworks Mark 1 with a trident on it?
With a what?
With the trident on it, like the logo.
Oh, would it? I mean, yeah, it would be cool.
I don't know.
Would that make it work for 2800 or 3200?
So this is the VTAL 100.
Oh, I've seen these.
Yeah, it's ancient.
Looks terrible.
That is Hop's territory for sure.
Hop rejected it, and Madden pawned it off on me, so I've been shooting with it a little bit. It is a wacky unit. So the activation pad.
He did that.
I don't know where he got it. You can't buy these. I can't find them online anywhere. Like you can You can buy the operator manual on eBay, but I couldn't figure out where this person got them from in the first place.
Fell off a truck.
That's what I'm thinking. It is an actual gray market. Very full power, by the way, VTOL 100.
Yeah,
It's a wacky laser though. We'll talk about it. There'll be a full video on it at some point.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Lightsport
was in that one on Hop.
Well, that's the thing is that's where Madden tried to send it to Hop and Hop said no. So then I got it because I'm his second pick apparently.
Jeez.
Tragic.
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah, I know. Hop sloppy seconds. Lightsport for 2 says Dank is too busy grinding at Chuck E. Cheese. Try to get those high scores, bro. Coppertone for 2 says, put me in the office and I will calm them NWAs. What's up, my NWAs? Can't have anything in cereal anymore. John's wife for 2 says, identity theft is not a joke, Richard. Thank you, Sydney. Appreciate that. Put some clothes on, whore. Bulge Deep for 5 says, October 7th was Chesterfinger on a Mario Kart. Oh, yeah, that was Chesterfinger flying over the border with his G3 mounted on the front. Oh, dear. That's good. Thank you, Bulge Deep. Jim Eagle, UC for 2 says, Army should do gear allowance for funny, retarded setups. No. You're supposed to be a real fighting force with, I don't know, consistent weaponry, I would imagine, right? So that
that's the
people can have
one tax cut
interchangeability.
they've never offered for dudes who buy their own gear.
Yeah. Well, wait, can't you count that as a tax write-off?
I think as like PPE, but like buying a gas pedal for your F-17.
Well, but I mean, like as a YouTuber, all that stuff gets written off as a tax write-up. So if you're in the military, as a police officer and you use your rifle for duty, like surely you could write your own gun off as an expense.
Well,
surely.
if you film instructional videos.
Well, but no. I'm talking about like a police officer. Doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he buys a rifle. That's his patrol rifle that he uses for work. Surely that rifle and everything on it can be a tax expense. Surely.
If not, then he needs to create a YouTube channel.
Well, because like as a YouTuber who films with everything, all the ammo, all the match fees, everything is an expense for me. So for me, it's all tax write-offs. So I don't know if that's something that's available to other people. Josh
That's why
for 2
I
says
want to create a cooking channel.
Yeah, so you can. Well, that's funny, dude. Because that would actually be. You could count all of your food as expenses. That's funny.
I know people
that's a good
go
idea.
around and do restaurant reviews, and that's all they do.
Yeah,
is restaurant reviews, and it's all write-offs.
Oh, so Ivan says it's only for business expenses. Being a soldier doesn't make the military your business. An employee, right? So an employee can't claim it as expenses. Okay.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, an axe to grind. There he is. Sons of Liberty Gunworks greatest defender says the Mark I is a good tax write-off. That's a big tax write-off. That's what that is. Although speaking of tax write-offs, dude, my Elbit PPS 14 that I got, it has a emission point issue, so I have to send it back to them. So that's a bummer. It's a $4,000 unit that I don't have for the next like 3 months. Josh says, shout out to Pay the Snucka. By the way, pray for the RN. Okay, yeah. I know that he's had a few issues in the past, but I'll write that down for Pay the Snucka. Appreciate that, Josh. Thank you, sir. Moski for 2 says, thoughts on the ADAC lowers and Spike's Tactical. Spike's Tactical makes some very interesting stuff, but the ADAC lowers, if I remember correctly, are the ambi lowers, and I like ambi lowers. So, yeah,
Is
I don't have a
Spike
problem
still
with ADAC.
around? I know like their products still float.
I still use some of their stuff.
Yeah,
like
he's still
in
around.
build and whatnot. So some of their stuff is super wacky, but yeah, here's the ADAC lower. It looks clean. It's got the ambi bolt release. I prefer the ambi bolt hold open rather than just the bolt drop, but I mean, it's clean. It's very Knights. It's actually better than the Knights. The Knights, their bolt release is tiny. So the ADAC actually looks a little nicer than that. It's cool though.
But that's like a real hot and cold because the Spike's lower is either just a mil spec lower or like a fucking
100%.
Fett helmet.
Yeah, exactly. They make a lot of cringe stuff, but I use some of their parts. Some of their parts are really nice.
Yeah, I think they might be the only ones who still do the tungsten buffers, like the powdered ones that are not H&K, if I'm not mistaken.
And they also do.
I forget who. Somebody else makes them because the Caracals ship with the tungsten dust buffer or whatever you call it.
Oh,
They
dude,
do
that's a
progressive recoil
fucking
springs,
Arab
too.
scam right there.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
Huge ass for 5 says Chestricker has like 90% hair. Does he have to shave his eyes just to see? Wow. Lots of hair. Zorp for 2 says, hello, boys. Christ is King. Very based. See,
Yes.
I do donate, John. Ah, thank you, Zorp. Well, it was for a good cause. Christ is King.
He probably
Sea Runner.
scheduled that. It was still playing.
Yeah.
You got
He's
something
sleeping
for
right
Zork,
now.
don't you?
Hey, he's talking to Jake. Sea Runner for 2 says, women have no place in leadership roles. Go home. Well, I think in Isaiah it talks about that it's kind of a nation is cursed or has issues when it's run by women and children, and you kind of see that a lot in the West. It's kind of a sign of the times.
Noah
Tuss-
Nation? What about Noah Kaniga?
Tuss the Third for 10 says, my uncle thinks Chest looks like Der Iwigi Jude propaganda poster from back in the day. Worth a Google. It's probably some German propaganda poster from World War II. That would be my guess.
It is.
Is that a slur? Der Iwigi Juda.
Yeah, it's the.
Oh my gosh! All right, that translates to the eternal Jew.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not blinking twice. Help! Thank you, Tuss the Third. Very important note there. Huge ass for 5 says Chessburger definitely almost drowned picking pennies at the bottom of the pool.
It's been a rough month, dude.
Dude, that is yeah. You got to make ends meet somehow. Actually, you know what? I have something for that. I have something just for that. No. It's even better. Where somebody sent that to me, and it was a Jewish kid who was jumping into the pool, I want to say, to grab pennies out of the pool, and it was a little Jewish boy doing it. I'm trying to find it now. It's gonna.
I'm trying to go viral.
I guess. I'm trying to find it. Where? Gosh dang it. I can't find it. It's too far gone. But yeah, somebody sent. I had that. I have a meme for this. Thank you, huge ass. Focus Trip's wife for 5 says, I want to formally apologize to Chessburger. I'm sorry, sir. My silly meds, Skittles, haven't been delivered yet, and I get a little too silly.
Oh, goodness.
Anna's been a little silly. Coppertone for 2 says, Chud, keep yourself safe. Richard Shidney Sweeney. All right, thank you, Coppertone for 2. Coyote 6 says, Focus, you look like John Luke from Duck Dynasty.
Hey, wait, can we pause it, go back to that one? The whole Sydney Sweeney thing. Well, we don't actually have to like roll it, or I don't know if you could do that. But when you think you just said like, hey, like women in leadership roles is not a good indicator, and it's like there's so many people making these Sydney Sweeney memes or looking her for strength, and it's like, why can't we have a male that did what she did? You know?
Well,
it's just the current thing.
We have Nick Fuentes for that. We have a semi-offended Mexican man to look up to, sir.
Yeah, but I was listening to
Gay catboy pussy lover.
I was listening to a Patristic Nectar upload, and he was talking about Nick Fuentes saying that he likes Stalin. So that's kind of
we talked about that a couple weeks ago. He
Okay.
has a special admiration for powerful people, Stalin being one of them.
Strong figures.
Antichrist.
yeah, you could say that somebody who's responsible for the killing of more Orthodox Christians than anyone else in history, probably. So
hard. He goes
super
hard.
cool.
Redacted for 5 says Al Shabaab on my knob like corn on the cob.
They would probably listen to that music if they were in the States.
Todd for 5 says throwing lures in the CNC at work right now. I'm making them at night. He's drilling the third hole, as they say. Thank you, Todd. Hope you're having a good time. Don't publicly say anything that could get you in trouble. Coppertone for 2 says Al Shabaab is VBED for the boys. A great name, to be honest. Okay. Thank you, Coppertone. Sea Runner for 5 says they're sending the fake Tylenol dollars back to Somalia. Andrew Isker has been talking about this. How does the money actually get there, though? Do overseas terrorist organizations, they have to use things like Bitcoin, right? Because that seems like a hyper efficient way to transfer money. Because you can access it anywhere. Thank you, Sea Runner. Sea Runner for 2 says Jews thought of this scam. Talking about autism scams, which I find that very funny. I just like the idea of scamming autism Medicare. Like, we have all of the Tylenol Americans in the chat right now. They're not getting any of this money, but it's going to Somalian autists.
Oh, now I see the Tylenol connection. Okay.
Mark for 5 says autism provider can be an agency or even an individual who provides care for somebody with autism. Each client gets hundreds of thousands yearly. For autism Medicare, dude. I'm just gonna pretend I got 3 kids. I'm gonna pretend they're all autistic, dude.
I'm retarded. Okay, please give me money.
I'll just be like, Bruce, I need you to play dumb. Okay, go to the doctors and like I don't know. I'm just gonna give him a bunch of tips and tricks on how to pretend to be autistic. Thank you, Mark.
Yes. So my aunt adopted my younger cousin who is autistic, and yes, she did get a lot of money.
Really?
Wow.
See, I'm thinking
so
now. I was
big.
like, if the Somalis can scam it, surely I can, right? I can figure it out.
Are you smarter than a Somali?
That's the new game show. That would actually be a funny game show. It was like you have a group of Somali farmers, and then you have a group of like suburban people, and they have to figure out how to like do all the farming and agriculture type stuff. And then you have to have the Somalis like attempt to do like, you know, normal American things or whatnot. See how it goes. That could be a great reality TV show. Coppertone for 5.
Vigor versus 10 Somalis.
Well, Coppertone for 5 says, of course, this VMed wants to turn everything into a mosque. That's not what he was saying. Chesford is an Orthodox Christian. No, he's saying that they are doing it, and that American Christians should want to do the same type of thing, right? It's to take over corrupt institution. Yeah.
Take it like, because your city probably has like an area where things are zoned for like nightclubs and bars and shit, and like if you can take one of those buildings and flip it into a church, like yes.
Well, yeah. And Axegrind for 5 says Mark 1 areas is an outstanding rifle. The contract clients are getting the Armad barrel option, which is a special barrel steel, which might be available to civilians in Q1. Maybe. Sons of Liberty Gun Works for the win. And Axegrind is our resident Claude Dallas fan, but also Sons of Liberty Gun Works fan. Art Vandalay for 2 says, I joined late. How did you get Bin Laden's son? Did you know that Bin Laden's son is in like a metal band or something like that?
Well, which one, dude? That guy was a player.
Yeah, well, that's also very true. But yeah, the famous one, the 40-year-old guy who lived in New York for a while, he's a metal singer or something like that, which I find funny.
One of the other ones has a house in Florida now.
Oh, okay.
One of the ones who wasn't into the different type of heavy metal.
Dude, at some point, Bin Laden, one of the Bin Laden kids, is going to be on like a police body camera video.
Well, it's like, Genghis Khan, right? At some point in the future, like 10% of people will be released. That's what I was saying. Judd for 2 says, 4 Somalis in gym this month. Glad I pack there now. Well, yeah, they tend to coalesce together. So even if you only have like a couple hundred in a city, they tend to basically live together and take over like a block or something.
It is exponential. You see one, you're going to see a second one, you're going to see a fourth one, you're going to see an eighth one, you're going to see a whole lot more.
Coppertone for 2 says, we should Minecraft anyone darker than Sydney Sweeney. Ouch, that's 3 out of 4 people on this panel, bro.
Uh-oh.
Bruh.
I'm
about to get
I'm getting
Minecraft,
smoked
dude.
tomorrow, dude.
Huge ass says deport chest rigger.
Where?
Well, yeah, where's he supposed to go? Chud for 2 says
Somalia, since you love it so much, obviously.
Yeah, just check
I'm fucked
Somalia's.
after this stream.
Check Somalia
in
grape
Somalia.
rates. Leave them there. Well, see, that's Western values. Okay, so I don't know if you guys watched this, but there was a Muslim v Christian debate the other day, and essentially it was like rape rates in Muslim countries are lower than they are in Christian rates. It's like, well, yeah, because in Muslim countries, raping a 13-year-old girl isn't rape, right? Just marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So of
and
course
the
that doesn't
rapes
count as rape.
in Western countries are committed by Muslims.
Well, there's a few interesting factors there. If you simply just don't count any of the rapes as rapes, then of course your rapes are lower.
They also have like multiple wives. This is weird shit.
Yeah, cousins and such like that. Axegrind for 5 says, I just wanted to say that I love and support white people. Who's with me? Aw, thank you, Axegrind. It's very kind of you. He's always looking out for the underdogs. Because I mean, to be real, like white people are only 6% of the population, so we're the real minority. Okay, so he's just looking out for the minorities in the world. We appreciate you, Axe to Grind. Blood paste for Ted says kick chest trigger. He's very upset. $10. All right. Let the hate flow. This is purely monetizing chest trigger hate. Yes. TK's Tiny Peen for 5 says we need Somalis so we have enough hotel shuttle drivers for all the airport. Also, Trench sucks. Okay, funny story. In Seattle, during my honeymoon, me and my wife, we drive up to Seattle because we're flying to Iceland. And the car lot where we were like parking our car for like 2 weeks and had a shuttle back and forth from SeaTac. Yeah, it was like a couple people who barely spoke English, and they just ran this place that was like super cheap in Seattle. It was like $3 a day or something, right? We're gone for like 2 weeks.
Wow,
Like, oh, this is
cheap.
super cheap. And then just park our car, and it was a pretty nice car at the time. And then I was like, all right, well, I really hope that I come back to a car that's fully functioning and in one piece. And then a random like broken down van shows up, takes us to the airport, and I'm like, all right, I don't know how these guys got into this business or who they are, but I made it to the airport. I'm not dead. I'm not caught up in a backpack somewhere, so feeling all right. I hope my car's there in 2 weeks. We're gonna have a great time, honey. Don't worry about it.
Too many questions.
Yeah,
You might have
I'm
to
not gonna
scream for
ask
the
any more
premium
questions.
one next time.
yeah. I'm like, maybe saving $7 a day was not worth it. Not at all. Totten Dogs says chest trigger. Is that a eyeliner or a unibrow extension?
Both.
Yeah, dog. It's just natural. TK's Tiny Peen says, oh my gosh, how long was Chest Rigger a volunteer UN aid worker?
About 6 months.
Did you do aid work in Somali?
No, I killed Somalis, dude.
Well, yeah, that's also volunteer work, right? Just volunteering for
making the world a better
volunteering
place.
for our country. Yeah.
Moonman 5 says, Richard, that thing I made you. Also, who is the Sandman with the blessed G3? Also, got an email about working in Somalia again. Is this a sign? I don't know, Moonman. Moonman's our resident federal agent. I don't know why you would want to go back to Somalia. It doesn't sound like a fun time. Unless, you could go to Eric Prince and get paid to, drone gangs in Haiti for like 150K for this summer. Or
really?
Actually, he was offering, because they needed a group of, I think, 80 people because they won the contract for Haiti to go in there and clear out the gangs in their capital, and their job was basically just to do like logistics and support for people and to provide like drone assistance. So I imagine they're gonna be dropping some bombs on Mr. Barbecue over there.
Well, dude, it's talking about another grift. You literally get paid to just fucking put a camera in the sky and watch a country tear itself apart. So that's good money.
Well, yeah, because it was only like 90 days and it was like 150K. It was some like pretty decent money. Obviously it's very dangerous, but it's still like, all right, fair enough. Moonman for 2 says kilometers. Yeah, he has to go back twice as hard. What is a kilometer? Coppertone for 2 says post DD214. Oops, skin, you're so mean. Shud for 5 says every time sub-Saharan Africa has real infrastructure supplied by Europeans and the native people took control, they don't up it and destroy it. There tends to be a cycle of people come in, they build all the railroads, they build all the infrastructure, they get forced out, they get asked to leave, and then like a decade later, it's all gone to crap, and it's like, oh.
Is Africa better off before or after we sent billions of dollars over there?
Well, it's a giant continent. I don't think people realize how big it is.
Yeah, it's a big place, and it's also a lot of money we sent over there, and I don't think it's any better off. So maybe we shouldn't send any money over there.
I do.
Morocco looks nice.
Well,
I'm not going to go.
It's on the Morocco looks like. Wasn't that where that woman traveler got beheaded in Morocco?
Yeah, that was
not too long
weird.
ago?
I don't think that's normal there.
Yeah, well, I hope not.
Surely not.
I can't say America's much better. We had that guy, that motel worker, get beheaded because he was interacting with a tenant that was like an illegal alien from somewhere or other, and he got beheaded, and the guy was like holding his head walking down the street at cops.
Oof.
All right. TK's Tiny Peen says, ever notice how you never see Chest Rigger and Seth Rogen in the same room at the same time? He does not look like Seth Rogen. No way.
Not at all.
No. It's like the anti-Seth Rogen. Mark for 2 says, Chest Rigger yells Allahu Akbar, I'm out of here.
Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner.
Based. Timothy Tastewell for 2 says, come give me a big old bear hug, John. I don't know, Timothy Tastewell. You're vaguely threatening for some reason. Thank you. Coppertone for 2 says, Chestrigger fails the skin color check for a stop. No, he's not. Chestrigger's not even that dark, bro. Also, Chestrigger, I should give you a chance to shout out. What's the name of your YouTube channel?
Well, I've got Stratagem Branch and Oprod Kids. So I'm gonna be doing a lot more sewing, like fun stuff. So if you guys need anything, I got a shop now. So,
and what are you making? That's the Stratagem Branch one, right?
Upcoming months, the MP5 chest rigs. But if there's something you need mags for, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to kind of tool around and have more fun with it. I'm getting away from like the trying to put products on just like soft dudes, and now it's just like, hey, you got like a fucking G3 or something, you can say whatever you want. I believe in freedom of speech.
Yeah, look at that. Oh beard.
Yeah,
you are eating that stock with your beard. It's like the thing. It's just slowly taking over everything that it encounters.
Dude, that gun is fucking cool.
I wish I could play it on YouTube. It would just get me taken down. But yeah. See, look, I mean, he's as light as I am, bro. What are you talking about? Skin color check. Mike Concho for 5 says, I must be bathed in the light of Richard Cranium. Then the face cam on. Turn the face cam on. No, I don't know. Richard likes his anonymity, good sir. But yeah, I put his links to the Oprod Kids and Stratagem Branch in the live chat. Go ahead and check him out. Call him whatever slurs that you want in his comment section, okay? He's from Texas for 5 says, SWFA is headquartered near where I live. They shut down their storefront. They shut their storefront down because too many people were coming in and window shopping instead of actually buying.
Oh,
well, as a small operation, people want to come in and see things for the novelty of it, but at some point you actually get work done. And that's why I don't want a storefront. I just want to ship uppers to people. I don't want to actually have to deal with them and talk to them for an hour at a time, because that's real work. And if they're not buying anything, you're just wasting.
Yeah. I have that problem right now because I'm in a strip mall between like a laundromat and the fucking dude. It's sketchy, and people come, show interest, and they'll be like, "Hey, who provides your water?" It's just like slip that in after like 10 minutes of you showing your craft and
Well, I was a salesman out of college, so I do. Yeah. Anyway, so hey, where'd you get this from? It's like, yeah.
The best part is we get free water in our city we have natural hot springs here. So you could fill up your own bottles. So it's like, dude, who the fuck would be selling water here?
Hey, what's his face? The guy that was the head of that management fund in The Big Short. The guy who runs that.
Oh yeah.
He only does waters now. That's it.
Okay.
That's all he sells is water shares. TK's Tiny Bean for 5 says Trench thought he'd be good at shooting that gun because he has a small sack. He was wrong again. I don't know. Oh, are we talking about the PSG one because he needed a small bag to go underneath it? And it's not okay. I get it. Somatic Psycho for 2 says Chest Rigger is funny looking. Got him. Moonman 5 says, to be fair to the Somalis, they probably have never seen an apple to be able to imagine it. So maybe have them visualize like a burning tire pile. That's just mean. Autis him, literally him, says, just got here, boys. What did I miss? 20 seconds. All right, I can do it in 20 seconds. Not that. Gun Gnome has been sending me some quite funny DMs. I can't actually get through all 12 pictures in 20 seconds.
Of reading.
Yeah, that's way too much. Sig Sauer unveiled some new packages. Sig Sauer also unveiled a new lawsuit. FN, after discontinuing the SCAR, says, hey, we might be bringing it back. The Sons of Liberty Gunworks Mark 1 got a contract.
Which does anyone followed up on that one? How many they're getting?
I haven't seen numbers, although if it's
more than one.
Hopefully it's more than one. Somalis stole $400 million in autism funds, which I just find very funny. Gun right. Northern Indiana passes a Second Amendment sanctuary county. All right, that was longer than 20 seconds, but I did it. Todd Dogs for 2 says Trench faked a show with Krisky for clicks because he's gay. What do you mean fake to show with Krisky? Didn't he upload a video with him? Moonman for 2 says, need that vid that plays for you, Crypto Jew. What? Crypto? Are you talking about the Jewish boy who's getting the pennies out of the pool? I don't know which one you're referring to. Somebody sent it to me. The Lightsport for 5 says, I see a lot of YouTube shorts of the dictator today, and magically he's here on the show. That's called predictive programming, good sir.
Fuck. I can't do a good dictator impression.
Now, you do look more like, what's his name? Sacha
Sacha Baron Cohen.
You look more like him than you do Seth Rogen, for sure.
Salahuddin.
Thank you, Lightspore.
Oh.
Matthew Dropco for 2 says, I look up to James Woods and Mel Gibson. You know, those are 2 decent people that came out of Hollywood. Probably the only 2. There's a few others, Jim Caviezel. Yeah, a few decent people. But
all right.
They seem all right, but I'm not very trusting of the Hollywood types. Chromosome Hoarder for 5 says, here's $5 to splurge on a real guest like Hop. Yeah. I had to go cheap on the guests for this one. Sorry. Thank you, Chromosome Hoarder. I appreciate that. The Lightsport for 2 says, Chest Rigger stole Hop's eyebrows. All right.
Stole more than just Hop's eyebrows.
Focus Trip's wife says, close out the stream with the Arby's on reaction to Burger King video, please. Can I actually play this on stream? Some of these videos are not age appropriate. Thank you, Anna.
Can.
Tuss the Third for 5 says, Firearm Freedom Channel just drop a new review on the Jackal. Please make fun of it. I'll write that down, otherwise I will forget it, Tusk. Thank you, Tusk. Let me write that down.
Who is that? Is that like a channel Bucky would investigate?
All I know about Tusk is he has a very frisky uncle, and he has a lot of trauma about it. Freedom, or Firearm Freedom, that's the one. Firearm Freedom. I will take a look at it, and if it's really bad, maybe we will do something with it. Thank you for that. All right.
I just came back from the ER for shoving Burger King burgers up my tight ass. The physician diagnosed me with ass burgers. That means Burger King burgers are fucking ass.
All right. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Thanks, bud. Joe's a good dude. All right. Yeah. I don't know what I expected. I should have expected better. Now you get no internet down there in the basement. How about that? All right. Dank, what do you got going on, homie?
I'm going through a workman's comp claim right now, so that kind of sucks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get injured?
Yep. I'm gonna probably have to have something happen with my knee. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it yet, but I'm going to the doctor here in the next few days.
I'm sorry about that, man. That sucks. We'll be praying for you to get through that. Chest Trigger, you got anything cool you want to shout out? I mean, let me put your channels back in the description as well.
Glory to
anything
our
cool
God.
Coming out?
Cool coming up. I won't have that. Well, I'm getting my other vehicle out of North Carolina, so I'm excited next week. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's my side picture. But there's a really cool match within the National Guard. They have a marksman association. It's called Winston P, and it's going to be a bunch of international players. So I'm going to be there. So if any of you guys are there, come hang out. I'm going to be at like the vendor kind of event, but I'm going to try to be out there for some of the stages.
Oh,
so
cool.
If you guys are in Arkansas, hit me up.
Is that like an NG only match or?
No, like law enforcement. I think like the Danes, maybe Dutch, like all kinds of people come and compete all over. I think SOCOM tries to send teams out. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Richard, what do you got going on, homie?
Tomorrow I've got the Gen V Glock video coming out. So if you guys could
for like the 9th time.
Dude, I don't know why the stupidest little things would set it off the YouTube algorithm, and I would have to but it finally worked. Finally accepted it. So it will be coming out tomorrow if you guys would be so kind as to go over and watch it when it comes out. Like, subscribe, share, comment, do all of the fun things. It's all free.
Sabardic Psycho over on Ko-Fi, he wants me to read this. He says, John, don't forget that we, your viewers, want an intro, outro song playlist or I could deflesh you with a blowtorch.
Ooh.
Thank you, Subartic Psycho. Living up to the name. There's an alternative option. Pod Namoco 147 says, with the Geisley upper, do I just build out an arrow lower, and do I need to get it pin and weld? Well, if you're buying it from Geisley, it's probably already pin and weld. So make sure you get the muzzle device that you want. And if you already have a lower receiver, just send it. But I mean, if you want to build one out specifically, I think there are a couple interesting lower options on the market. So send me an email or something, and I'll let you know what I think is actually good out there. And then over on YouTube, a couple more come in. Moonman for 5 says, play the Arby's vid and give me the Ko-Fi video, or I will take your eyebrows and add them to the amorphous growing brow of Chestrigger. Wow. I need my eyebrows. I don't look the same without them, bro. I'm going to look like one of those guys from Dune.
Look, Moonman has instructed me to start adding here. You gotta comply, dude. I don't want to do this. He's got some dirt on me that ties me with the J word.
The Epstein list. The Epstein list. We know why he's redacted. It's like they cut off, and it's like Est Igor. It's like, I think I know who that is. Matthew Dropco for 2 says, Chestrigger equals Bluto's head on Popeye's body. JK. Oh, okay, yeah. Bluto's quite a hairy man. Quite a hairy man. All right. Well, with all of that out of the way, gents, thank you so much for watching, hanging out. Thank you to the guests for being here, for everybody who's supporting, being so wacky and overly kind, honestly, to Chestrigger. You guys were on your best behavior tonight, and certainly not wacky or mean, or you didn't say anything untowards towards the man at all, which is, you guys are who you are, and that's why we love you, or at least tolerate you. But thank you very much, gentlemen, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless, gents.